That's right, everybody. It's Cody's birthday here on Collider Live, and we are talking about Angels baseball. We're talking about bowling. We're talking about TGI Fridays. We're talking about everything we want to talk about. It's Cody's birthday. Kristian, Josh, everyone, back to you. What do you want to talk about?
I'll tell you what, I'm okay. If you guys want to turn the cameras on and mics there and just do it, and we can go.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm good.
That's their show now.
You didn't even mention Pokemon, though.
Pokemon as well.
Good. Welcome back to Collider Live. It is Cody's birthday. Old bastard. It is Wednesday, July 31st, 2019. And welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back the Joshiest of Macugas, the Reilliest of the hairs.
Thank you.
Roxy Striar, blonde as always.
I couldn't be the Roxiest.
No, because you know what I realized? I saw some old clips on the show, and just because I'm with you all the time that you just don't notice. Like your hair has gone through so many different things.
Phases, yeah.
Oh my God.
Dark hair,
pink and
pink
brown
hair,
and blonde.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
What's next?
I think I'm gonna go red.
I knew it.
Hey.
But
I don't know how I knew it.
everybody's
I knew it.
advising me against it. I don't have the skin tone for a redhead. I'm too tan. But if I do that thing where I don't get sun anymore,
Right.
I could be red.
You also have very dark eyebrows, which is tough on red.
Tougher on blonde.
Is it?
Well, Khaleesi made it easier.
Yeah,
but,
Oh, yeah.
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 Go with Khalees.
Changing the game.
Happy birthday to Cody. Happy birthday to Alex, because it was his birthday before, but now it's not.
It was Alex's birthday the other day.
Happy birthday
We're talking
to
about
Johnny
music.
LaQuasto.
We're talking about Alex.
What does Johnny LaQuasto do? What
his
is it?
birthday.
Oh, his birthday
Today?
Oh, nice.
John
It's
Quasto,
Johnny
yeah.
LaQuasto.
Oh, is he not Johnny anymore?
I think he's John Quasto.
Oh, for his wrestling name?
Yeah,
They
for
changed it?
WWE, I think they changed it to John Quasto.
Oh, okay. They did not like that. They didn't like the la? Like flows
Instead of
better.
Johnny LaQuasto, I think it's just John Quasto.
Johnny LaQuasto is a better announcer.
Yeah, but you know they like to have ownership of people's
everything,
names.
right.
So I mean, I could have made that up, but I'm pretty sure. That's
I don't
what he
think you're
said.
wrong. I think I heard something like that too.
Yeah.
John Quasto sounds
But-
a lot like a dude that runs an Italian restaurant in Irvine.
Hey,
I will say his handle was always Jay Quasto, though, so he didn't have to change that.
to change it.
Yeah, John Quasto.
So a couple things here today. We have guests, Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz, who are promoting the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yo.
It's the movie that Roxy loves. Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson,
We all
John
love
Hawkes.
him.
Yeah, well, not we all. I haven't seen it yet because I didn't have a chance. They sent the link. They sent the link late.
They said
Yeah.
they sent it quite late.
Late, and I didn't have a chance to because I went.
But
and I
you
saw.
guys watched it, and this is not a life itself situation. This
No.
was a
No.
recommendation from Rox that everybody was into.
I will say, speaking on life itself, before we go into Peanut Butter Falcon, because whatever, me and the missus tried to watch 20 minutes of Life Itself,
Okay.
and
You hated it.
it's the worst.
Good talk.
I didn't mind it as much.
Thank you so
It's
much.
not a good movie, but I didn't mind it. I
It
didn't mind
was
watching
the
it.
best movie of last year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's.
But okay, so I
Do you know
panicked
Avengers
last
Endgame
night.
came out last year? And that's not even my favorite
Got
movie
that,
That
last
was-
year?
Blu-ray. Got that Blu-ray.
Avengers
yesterday.
Endgame was this year.
Oh, that's
that,
right. Yeah.
That to me was a nice surprise when I got home from Hobbs Shaw's package. I'm like, what the hell is this now?
Yeah.
And because I keep getting shit for my wife just keeps ordering stuff on Amazon. So I come and say, what the hell is this now? Like there was rug cleaner yesterday, so that was great. So I opened it up and it's the Avengers. Like that's wonderful.
Yes, that's
I was like,
fantastic.
What a
gonna be
pleasant
something.
surprise.
That was a nice
4
nice surprise.
hours of bonus content.
I know. I'm gonna watch
That's
a lot.
crazy.
Of it. Anyway, so you were saying about the movie.
I panicked last night, like hot and cold sweats, because all of a sudden I hadn't heard from any of you guys, and I was like, "Did I do this again? Did I make them?"
Life itself.
I was like, "Oh no," because I was so confident in this movie, and then
You
all
just
of
said,
a sudden,
you almost sound like you said Socahontas. Like you were so confident, but it came out like Pocahontas. I just,
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
I was
250,000.
so confident in this movie that when I heard from none of you, I was like, "Shit."
Right, you thought it was a fart potato.
Yeah, but then I came in this morning and they had both said one of the best
Loved it.
movies.
I thought about texting you, but it was pretty late. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'll
All
talk
right, I
to
gotta
her
watch it. I
tomorrow.
mean,
I was up
definitely
till
wanted to
3.
watch it. I thought about it last night to watch it, but I'm like, I'm exhausted.
You
I'm
have
going to
kids.
sleep.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
oh, dude.
You're gonna love it. There's-
Even if you're not a big Shia LaBeouf fan, which I know.
I am.
he is
actually, no.
fantastic in it.
But that's
So good.
That's the thing. Back in the day, if you've been following schmoes for a long time, we used to call him Shia LaBoots, and I couldn't stand the guy for a very long time. Always said in smaller movies he was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's big budget movies I didn't like him in. But strangely enough, the thing that turned me on him to become a really big fan of his was the Do It video. Like,
yeah.
Just do it.
when he started doing when that do it. I loved that video. I loved that
too.
video. And it turned me into a Shia LaBeouf fan.
It's slightly challenging though because I think he's ridiculously talented,
So talented.
and so I love watching him. But also, he's done some like pretty crappy person things.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but that's one of those cases of judge the judge the art, but not the artist.
Yeah, and
So-
also in a movie like this, I don't think that my ticket sale. And by the way, I went to a free screening, so actually
Right.
no ticket sale. But I don't think that that's going to put him up in his big house, and it could really help the other people in the movie. So
I'm looking forward to seeing it because, like I said, I think he shines in smaller movies like this.
Shia
This
she
is
shines.
Dakota Johnson's best movie she's ever done.
How beautiful does she look
mean,
in
my
this too?
God.
Like so
See?
natural and
So
amazing.
natural and
Yeah.
playing.
Are you on another page now?
What's
With
that?
her?
Yeah, this is turning me. Yeah,
See? There you
she
go.
was fantastic,
like
and she
her.
was, and she was very.
Can we get
lovely.
her in?
Yeah.
No.
I think yes.
I'm also very upset that I missed our friend Kelly yesterday.
But she had a blast.
Yeah.
She wants to come back. No
Good.
problem.
We're gonna
And she's
have her
coming
in.
back.
Good.
She
good.
Yeah,
could
we
not
booked
have
her.
been cooler.
She's awesome. I told you guys. She was just.
She's fantastic.
You could tell. She just has that kind of personality. That's why she
Love her.
succeeds. I was. That one. I was really bummed to miss yesterday's show.
We told
but-
her that.
That I was bummed.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I look forward to talking to her. 'Cause it seemed like the audience dug her too. And which,
Yeah.
Everything's good with you though?
Yeah, everything's good, man. So it just it's had something to do some family stuff yesterday.
You got the dong shirt on.
I got the shirt. This
Team
is the-
Dong.
Yeah, it's Team Dong from Sight and Sound. They guys
Sight and
sent it to
Sound.
me. This one because what they did smart this time.
I haven't done my laundry. I can't wear. I have one of those things where I can't wear a shirt unless I've washed it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
so
you
I haven't washed this
Yeah.
my
You
shirt yet.
can't.
It's
Itchy.
and it's got that
and
olive oil smell.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But they did something wrong last time that this time they didn't do. They did not send this to Ellis. They sent it to you.
Yes.
That's why I got it. Last time they sent the shirts to Ellis, and they sat in Ellis's car for 6
Oh
months.
yeah, I'm loving my shirts from both of the times, from that and this.
Well, you weren't around the first time, so
Yeah.
you can't blame him on that.
Okay, I'm
The
loving my shirt from this time.
Yeah, well, you told them you got mad at them last time. Why are they going to send you a shirt?
I can't
in
believe
Chicago.
that story. I literally can't
You
believe
were
that
wrong on
story.
that one.
I was not wrong.
On that one, you were.
To say that I was mad.
It wasn't mad. You were
Okay.
going to be mad. It was
Okay.
the way that you judged the particular the way that you read that situation. I believe you were inaccurate. That's a better way to say it.
As part of an impartial jury, I'm gonna have to go with Kristian on
Yeah.
this one.
Well, you guys can say that you don't agree with how I felt.
Yeah,
but,
so I changed wrong. I
but-
changed wrong. I
No,
said-
change mad. That's the word.
I said
yeah.
my personal opinion is I think that that you assessed the situation inaccurately.
Right.
That's
Totally,
what
that
I would
makes
say.
sense.
Okay. Anyway, but I love this shirt.
Yeah, it's
a good shirt.
fantastic. I can't wait to wear mine.
Yeah, and I think you can get
Should
it.
I get a Team Twat shirt?
I don't know if that'll play.
Something tells me it wonon't.
Yeah, I don't think
Won't
so.
play
I
the same
don't
way
think
I'm
so.
hoping that
I
it
don't
would.
think
I don't
it'll
like the people who are going to wear it either.
Yeah, I don't think
necessarily.
so. Probably
who buys
not.
that?
Yikes.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Not
It's tough
good.
look.
Not good stuff. But this is a good shirt. I think you can get it if you go to T Public. I don't know where the fuck to find the shirt. I'm lying. But
I think they made them.
they just did they make them?
I think they made
All right,
them.
so go find them.
Yeah. I mean, they could call in later in the show if they want to.
They want to.
And then-
Yeah,
I
you
don't
better
know.
just
I don't
follow.
think they listen live anymore.
Not live, but
Yeah.
back. Who knows? They might even listen to the show anymore. So if they
That's
don't,
true.
they still send shirts, and that works for me.
They
you.
told me they were going to bring me on Sight and Sounds, and my invitation must have been lost in Ellis's car.
Maybe did. I think it's probably happened. Few things for you guys as we move on. Thank you for everybody who's been suggesting the cities. It's been going up. We're getting more and more suggestions.
Boston.
Yeah,
Boston.
go. I have to talk to Jonathan today to find out which city is in the lead right now. But it's the schmodownlive.com. You want to suggest which city we're going to go to. We always do shows on Fridays. I don't know, whatever the show's going to be, whether it's a comedy show or like we're doing. Ken and Josh are doing one in Arizona. So there's always stuff to do, and you can come see the crew. But you got to suggest your cities. The schmodownlive.com. Go on over there today. Join the Facebook group also, which is the Movie Trivia Schmodown Facebook group. And if you can join Patreon, you should do that too. But we're going to be in New York. We're going to be in Arizona. We're going to be in Orlando. So are you excited? Wait, Cody,
Holy
Cody,
shit.
will you be back for Orlando?
Oh yeah, I'll be at that one.
Are you excited for that one?
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
How long have you been holding that one back from us?
A couple days now. Got that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. You got any new sound bites that we should be listening to?
Let me see here.
I really want to.
Anything from Fart Potato?
There's an amazing Wet and Wild water park in Orlando that I plan. I'm not going to go touch Universal or Disney World. I'm going to that water park. I love water parks.
You're going to Orlando?
I don't know. But if I go,
Yeah. I don't know. Right now, the way it looks is that there's going to be an undercard match that I know that I can't reveal yet, and the finals for the singles tournament but there might be a switch in the main event if certain things happen the way I think that they might.
Is Orlando the weekend before Halloween?
October 19th.
Yeah.
So two before. Yeah. There you go.
Why did you choose Orlando over Miami or anywhere in Florida?
Polls and interest. So we were thinking Tampa, and
Tampa.
Was going to be. Actually, it's funny. The theater that was was a 2-minute drive from my dad's house. So I really wanted to do that one, but Orlando seemed to be the one that people wanted to go to.
Is your dad going to come?
He's out of town that weekend.
Oh,
yeah,
he's pulling Josh Macuga.
Won't be, but there will be a lot of people that will be there. But I'm telling you, for people in Florida, get those tickets. Like today, because we're already 200 and they're going fast, and it's in October, so it's going to be gone. And New York, the meet and greet are pretty much gone. I think there's like 2 left.
But what about in Orlando?
Is this the new Zubilee show?
I love it.
I'll take this song.
I'll take this.
What is this song? Is this?
It's from Book of Mormon.
Oh, that's
some
right.
Book of Mormon.
That's why we're okay.
I had an uncle Orlando. He was a great guy. I did.
It works even when you say it for a name. Okay.
Orlando Bloom.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orlando Bloom.
I hear you.
Are there any other actors with that name?
Bloom?
No.
Jones.
Well, there was
Jones.
Tony.
Oh, Jones. Yeah.
Tony
That's what I
or-
thought you said first. Bloom's probably the first one you go to. Yeah.
Then there was the old singer, the old crooner, Tony Orlando.
Right. Speaking of crooners, although I guess we might see a crooner in the new Scorsese movie. You didn't like the trailer, huh?
Not a big fan.
You said you thought it was not good at all.
I that was more of like the sarcastic Josh coming out. I watched it twice because listen, my favorite movie as far as drama goes all time is Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
I mean, like it's a good follow. It was
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. And I wanted this trailer to be the best, but this just looked like a cross between Dick Tracy, Jimmy Hoffa, and like just a classic Scorsese. It was like okay. I mean, we can go into it later.
Mark's gonna pop a vein right now.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, I'm more on your side. It's exactly Reilly. It's exactly what I thought I would see from a Scorsese thing, but I didn't get much detail. You're not going to get the full feel of it until you see the movie.
Right.
But the only thing I was disappointed in was Al Pacino playing Hoffa.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I was disappointed in, but that could change after I see the movie. I was just hoping, I had this vision in my head that all 3 of them were going to be these young gangsters together doing those, but they've done it before. They've done that before. So, from what
the movie could totally change my mind. I'm just saying from this trailer.
You didn't love the trailer?
Didn't love it.
You didn't love it. I thought it was pretty good. Did you see it yet?
Yeah, of
What'd you
course.
think?
I saw it multiple times as I waited for somebody to open the door for me for 15
That
minutes,
happens.
and and it was.
Don't hit the call button anymore. Knock on the door.
I'm banging my fists are almost
She was
leaving.
knocking. I
Use your
heard it
head.
when I was putting the notes out here, and I don't know why you're waiting that long.
Use your head next time.
Or call somebody.
Or somebody please trust me enough to give me a key when
Yeah.
Anyway, so I watched it a couple times, and I am in between all of you guys, I think. I didn't feel as poorly about it as Josh did, but definitely not as positive as you guys did. It was a little lackluster for
I think
me.
I'm on the same side with you,
Yeah,
to be
oh,
honest.
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I just, when I saw it, I didn't get like so pumped up like I thought I would, but it
Totally.
looked like a Scorsese movie, and I didn't get the Dick Tracy vibe on it,
Okay.
but I think one of the major letdowns for me was like, oh, so Pacino's playing Hoffa, and this is more about De Niro's Irishman and how he got involved. And thinking about that, I'm probably going to love this movie.
Yeah,
I'm probably
me
gonna love
too,
it because you don't. Scorsese's not really going to
not gonna
sell you on
disappoint.
but the trailer itself is not doing. Whoa! It's the movie.
Did De Niro's face look a little weird to you guys?
Yeah, it was. That was the whole
The
thing.
de-aging,
was the
yeah, but it
de-aging
looked
thing.
weird. I mean, weird.
You could
like
tell.
yes,
Yeah.
because sometimes we see great de-aging,
Yeah.
a la Will
Kurt
Smith.
Russell. Oh yeah.
And sometimes we see that.
I couldn't believe that I did this after the first watch. I went, where was the de-aging?
Oh, really?
I actually went, is that
Oh,
just
I
him
don't
with
know
makeup?
how-
You didn't think that the whirl around?
The whirl around,
Yeah.
yes. I knew that was it towards the end, but I was like, where is it?
You guys
Where-
know how I
like,
Facetune my pictures and I'll like smooth out my skin and stuff? A little too much Facetune on him. Somebody smoothed out a little.
It
too
looked a
much.
little-
Tuna.
Yeah, you need some pores still. You
Dare
got to go
I
back and
s-
add in. There's an erase button. You got to blot the erase.
Dare I say, quite Cavillish? If you will.
Cavillish? Oh.
Little Henry Cavill,
Cavill.
with the mustache.
Oh, I see.
That was,
A little bit.
I must ask you a question.
Yes, thank you, Roxy.
hey. That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been working on that.
What? Better.
That's
Pretty
great.
good.
I was
That's
in my
good.
whole car ride.
It's good. I'm glad I
Just
can
picture you like
inspire
thanks for
talent.
working on it
forward
like
the most
lines.
hated thing you do.
Oh, is it most hated? Okay.
I like it. I like it, but I almost passed out while driving, so can't practice it there anymore.
This is why I love it. I'm going to do it even more now. Not only because he said he hated it, but the fact that he's so haunted by it, it woke him up in a hotel room thinking that somebody, they thinking it was me. He
Chicago.
literally texted me in Chicago. And, was it Chicago?
Chicago. Yeah.
It seems like so.
Are you sure it was in Orlando?
That's ages ago.
Do you ever have those moments though, to where like something that happened a while ago, when you think about it, I mean, it's the cliche thing. It seemed like it happened yesterday, but like I was dating this girl, and we were watching. I don't know what it was, Jerry Springer or whatever it was that popped on, and it said New York accents, sexy or trashy, right? And she kept bringing that up to her sister, and every time I think of that moment, I feel like it happened like a month ago. It happened like almost 20 years ago.
I could not relate more to what you just said.
Is that it happens, right?
100%.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like there's particular moments. There's just like particular moments that you think of. There's some of them like, oh, that happened forever ago. That moment, for whatever reason, and I know it was like 20 years ago, it feels like it happened yesterday.
Yes.
I remember where I was sitting, like the way that she was laughing about all that stuff, and watching the show. It was so bizarre.
Somebody brings up 2009. I'm like, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
10.
Crazy.
What is your verdict on that, though, Christian?
Why it happens?
No, sexy or trashy?
Oh, I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Depends on the person. Like
What about you guys?
The New York accent?
Yeah.
Depends on the person. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'm
depends on
with
the
you.
person. Like Marissa Tomei, when she was doing it in My Cousin Vinny, was
Yeah, it's
sexy.
a good call.
Where-
Didn't
when
see
is it
that
not?
coming.
A lot of other times.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's people I grew up with that it's
trashy. Same as Boston.
But there's
Yeah.
people. So it's funny because there's perfect examples. I ran into a few people in New York when I went back that we talked about that I had a crush on. Right. That the accent stands out. It really stands out, and I couldn't tell if it was like, yeah, maybe I don't have a crush anymore, or if it was something up. Because then another person showed up, like, maybe I do. I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's finding it. Find it either that it works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of with you on that. And
depends on the person.
The accent is so, because you're always going to get the cliche accent in the movies, right? Like Boston, New York, whatever. But like the legit thick accent that is totally unintentional can be tough.
It depends also on what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know there's people I grew up in my neighborhood. My one friend who is a very attractive woman, but she'll say, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to go down to the fucking thing and get me milk, and I'm sitting here waiting for you fucking half an hour." That's not sexy.
That's not.
That's the thing. I don't know a single.
Depends on the person again.
I don't know a single person with a Boston accent that is thick that does not talk like that. Like everyone, including when I used to have mine more, and I still talk like that. I just
Paulie,
kick
get
the
the
accent.
car!
Yeah. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I fucking hate when you fucking show up here, my fucking
dude.
doorstep, and you're fucking being all pissing
I know.
around and shit. There's nobody
Yikes.
who has that accent that doesn't talk like
That was
that.
gross. Yeah.
And that is not somebody who's taking a guy home from the bar in Los Angeles.
Well, in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
but back home you
Oh,
will.
and back home.
Yeah,
Oh
sure,
my god.
sure.
That's why I've had sex with twice as many people back there as I have out here.
Yeah, that works. Who's calling my dad? I can't take that call.
Ask him if he's going to come to Orlando.
You just want to keep hearing this.
I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Have you never seen that show?
I've listened to it, but I've never seen it.
My dad called me yesterday. I think that's probably why he's calling me now, because he called me. He's like, "So, what do you know about this Blinded with the Light?"
Well,
And I'm like, I said I hear great things. About
He
this
called
person.
it Blinded with the Light.
Blinded by the Light. And Blinded by the Light. And I said, it's about this kid who wants to go to a Springsteen concert. It's really I hear it's great. I haven't seen it yet though.
It kind of
Who do you know who's seen it? People in the office?
I think Roca saw
Yeah, Roca
it.
saw it.
Perry, Dorina was the first one I heard talk about it, and so I sent him to see it. So he's probably calling me to tell me what he thought of it. Yeah,
It's out in theaters.
I think so.
already.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it has to be because he's in.
I'm just really upset I didn't get to see Hobbs and Shaw last night with you guys, but I am going Saturday with my father.
Yeah, we'll talk. I was
I
going
invited
to
both of
take
you.
you.
Yeah.
But I figured you were busy and
Yeah,
you were
it
seeing it with the
happens.
family. So.
Well, and the Bachelorette finale was last night. So
Yeah.
Blinded by the Light is about people who want to go see Bruce Springsteen.
I think so.
it's all Bruce Springsteen music.
Yeah.
In the Blinded by the Light movie,
Yes.
where have I been?
It's shocking that you
Yeah.
are this
Yeah.
clueless right now. Because the commercials, it's all
I haven't seen a
Springsteen.
commercial
It's
for
about
it.
him falling in love with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
It's an Indian kid who falls in love with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
Wow.
it's Pakistan. I'm not sure.
That's so crazy because you guys know what a big fan of his I am.
Yeah.
Pakistani.
What did we just
Pakistan.
something you guys brought up right before that? I was like, shit, we can go into
Bachelorette.
Wow,
So
how have I not seen this?
I got home last night from Hobbs and Shaw, saw that Blu-ray of The Avengers, got real happy. Then I walked in and my wife was watching the finale of The Bachelor. Did you hear what happened?
I have so many questions about this. Yes, I heard, but I'm confused.
We were wrong about the pop star and Tyler dating the pop star. Or whatever.
Gigi Hadid. But are we wrong about
No,
that?
no, he's no. They're not wrong.
Bella and Gigi Hadid are two of the biggest supermodels in the world right now,
Yeah.
but they're like Kardashian style.
Yeah.
People in the age group of 12 to 25 are like that's
Obsessed.
Okay,
their
so-
hero.
so wait a minute.
Millions and millions of
Okay,
followers.
so they're not wrong because it looked like Hannah and this guy Tyler are getting back together.
Dude, they did it for the camera. I'm
Yeah,
telling
you
you,
think so?
They did. They brought him out because the fans love him,
Right. And they want to end it on a happy
yeah,
note because it was so
exactly,
miserable
'cause it
after
was so
that first
miserable.
one.
Doesn't that
And-
look like Tyler?
A little bit, but
John Barry.
finish.
And so I guarantee you, they were like setting this whole thing up, and he's going to say yes, but there's no guarantee or anything that this is going forward. Just like, hey, let's go get a drink. He's definitely hooking up with models in New York, and the press that's going through because Amanda like knows all this weird stuff,
Okay.
right? It's
She
clearly
reads
that
all
it's-
the
it's-
Us Weeklies.
If it's a rumor, it's true.
So
I don't know about that.
I started looking into it because I
you
don't
like
even watch
gossip?
the show, but Psycho.
Well,
yeah.
I almost dropped that whole fucking thing. Go ahead.
I fucking almost dropped the fucking drink, Saul. And
Smart.
basically, how the rumor started. I'm not talking about the rumor Amanda heard. The rumor that the public heard was Gigi started following Tyler on Instagram.
Why do you
and
say
then-
it like that? By the way, why do you say Gigi?
Gigi?
When you said it, you went, the rumor was that Gigi.
Gigi?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know I did that.
So continue.
So Gigi started following Tyler on
Nicely
Instagram,
planned,
yeah.
and then Tyler started following her
Who's
back. Her, the girl, the model,
Then,
Gigi.
slid in the
And-
DMs?
yeah, no, they just started following each other,
okay.
and so the public was like freaking out because you know how when a director starts following an actor in
Yeah,
our
of course.
world,
Bring
and
up
then we
this
think they're going to
Gigi,
be in the
by the way.
movie. I think you'll know who she is when you see her, maybe.
Then bring her up. Let me see.
Very exotic looking.
I'm trying to think of how you would know her. I can't.
Is that
think.
the right one?
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah. You don't know who this is?
I have no idea.
I think
let
she
me see the
has
first
like
picture.
I think she has like 60 million followers or something.
She's attractive. There's no doubt about it. And then
Yeah,
second
beautiful,
picture
beautiful.
is her and Tyler. So there you go.
See?
Good for him.
Yeah.
Look, good for him.
But
Put them together.
But they were trying to like set a stage where they might be able to get back together. But if I was Tyler, like, dude, you chose Jed over me. I'm out.
But that is
I
not
think
what
that-
he said.
No. But I think that he's. It's funny you say that because I was watching just for people who, again, like for Alex and Cody who've fallen asleep into the booth. When it comes to this particular story, what I found fascinating because I didn't watch the whole thing, but they haven't had a scenario where, for everyone who didn't know, so she picks this guy, the singer, Jed. So
And
the guy-
his song at the proposal was cringeworthy,
I didn't
dude.
even
It
hear
was
it. I
like
didn't-
me
I didn't-
doing karaoke. Imagine bringing a guitar to a
Like
proposal.
what about ukulele? That would have been better.
There you go.
But basically what happens is we talked about this. That there were rumors that this guy had a girlfriend right before he got on the show. He was dating this girl.
Yep.
And he said, I'm going to go on a reality TV show, I'll promote my music and whatever. I'm not going to go very far. I'll just promote the music and I'll get the hell out of there, go back to this girl. Goes on the show, wind up legit falling for Hannah and doesn't ever mention it, bring it up. Proposes, she says yes, and then the rumors start to come out that he was dating this girl, went to like wherever the Bahamas.
People
or-
magazine printed
right,
it.
in order.
She
So,
sent her a letter with "I love you" on it.
so the guy
Sent her a letter while he was on the show?
No, right before he left,
Right
he broke
before he
up with
left.
her via text and left a letter for her, like someday we'll all be together. You can find
But he
it.
claimed he never even considered her his girlfriend.
No, but he went to the Bahamas, said he loved her multiple
the
times.
family like said all that. It was horrible shit because,
Families met each
because
other.
the point is the guy should have said something halfway through it. He would have cleared himself. I probably would have gotten eliminated, but at least he would have cleared his name out.
What's crazy in the first episode is she finds out that one of the guys there was dating a girl right before he got on the show, and she finds out.
Right.
And because her
And
friends
eliminates
find
him?
out and eliminates him right away.
She could have chosen either this guy Tyler, who now is dating the supermodel, so that didn't work out for her, and then Peter the pilot, who there was other rumors that he had a girlfriend, but he made it clear though he came out they had the whole thing and the girl and him.
That's gone too.
But that didn't happen. So he's going to wind up being the Bachelor.
I don't really
Peter?
know
Yeah,
what you
Peter
just
the
said.
pilot.
Peter won't be the
Who's gonna be
because
the
he's
best?
because he's got too much drama with this other girl because he was
they're
dating.
clearing that up. They
Like, what are
cleared
you
that
talking
up.
about, Christian? That Peter the pilot was dating somebody, but then it was cleared that he.
There was an article where where this guy, the Jed or whatever the fuck his name is,
Gigi.
got caught with his balls hanging out, right? Where Peter said, no, I had this conversation. We broke up before this thing because of different circumstances, and it came out with public said we were not dating, and he basically cleared his name on it, and that's it. They're protecting him because the story hasn't come out because they want to do the next Bachelor.
Peter's too like boring and like to be the Bachelor.
Pull up his picture.
He's not gonna be. He's got
who do you
delicate
think?
hands. If it's not Tyler,
It's not Tyler.
It's not anybody yet. But
That's what I'm saying.
they're gonna if they want anybody, the reception that he got versus
I
the
know.
Does it
reception
have
Peter
to
got.
be somebody from this
if
season?
Tyler's dating A, Gigi, or B that they're going to have her. Oh, here's the two.
They might do Mike. Might be the first Black Bachelor because he was really well
But I
liked.
thought Mike was on Bachelor in Paradise.
No, there's
No?
another guy.
I don't know.
You might be right on Bachelor in Paris. I don't know.
I don't know. Either way.
It
we're
has
gonna
to be
find-
somebody from this season.
No.
It usually is now. They like to connect it because the ratings get better because it's connected because people forget about these contestants very
Like Ari a
very
few
fast.
years ago,
Yeah, so it happens. The one time they brought back this one dude who had been the Bachelor, I think I don't know what it was. It was like 6 seasons before, and to have the audience care about him. But anyway, point is this guy Jed was a real douche nozzle because it's and I changed my point on Hannah. I think she's a lot smarter than a lot of people gave her credit for, and I thought she was.
She had her ups and downs.
She was mature about a lot of certain scenarios, and I think that you don't do that to somebody.
I like that she left him.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she's strong.
Yeah.
And you don't do that to people. You don't do. It's like if you knew, and you were there, and even if you fell for it, you got to tell her. You got to say,
have
look,
to.
He's a fucking liar.
yeah, he's a straight up liar. And then she's like,
People-
after they started dating, she's like, then there were girls in your house. Like, yeah, I don't even know how they got there.
Yeah, but that's a Bob Finstock
Yeah,
reply.
and he's like, but she's like, but didn't you throw them in the pool? He's like, yeah, I did.
When you're more willing to hurt somebody than to tell the truth, you don't love them.
No. And it's like, look, he's just, and this doesn't really matter, but he's a young kid. He's 25, musician. And he got caught up in all this shit. But I'm not excuses. He did a fucked up, stupid
You
thing.
guys think there's no way, even if Tyler had gone on a date with Gigi or whatever it is, you think there's no way that him and Hannah
I don't
end up
think that.
together?
That's what he thinks. So the way that I felt about it when they were sitting there, because my wife and I said the same thing. He's essentially sloppy seconds, and it's like
Doesn't wanna be that.
No, and it's like you could tell it in his face. He was being super nice, but it's just like, yeah, now you want me here because you found out this guy was a fuckface.
Totally.
But that happens in life
I know.
sometimes, where you go
Not-
and date somebody else, and then you realize.
But you're not in front of millions of people on TV.
And he's got to be like,
No, you
he's
don't.
he's stud Tyler. The girls like him. He's not going to go sloppy seconds. He's either going to be the Bachelor or he's going to go and model even though he's a general contractor, quote unquote, he's going to go and model and do his thing, whatever he wants. But if he wants to keep the fame going, he wants that 15 minutes to go. He's going to beg to be the Bachelor.
Also, I want to clear my name for a second because yesterday's show I said that Jed was much more my type, and I severely take that back.
Well, but you didn't know.
You just looked at him.
yeah.
Yeah, but Tyler's much more my type.
But he played. But it's
Just to
funny.
be
Well,
clear.
that guy. But he played. He was fine. He wasn't a villain for the whole thing. He just got caught up in this. He did a really stupid thing, and he should have been up front. And
But I also saw the way he speaks, and I didn't like it.
yeah, that's fair.
He has no
I don't
emotion in
like-
his face.
yeah, I don't like
He's
it.
just,
As his mouth
so
is moving.
monotone.
Right now,
It's
Luke
freaky.
P's going like this. Woo!
Yeah.
Clear. Like no one's talking about Luke P
No.
anymore. It's talking about this putzwaz.
He like you could tell he was just the dude in the fraternity that had a hot girlfriend, then cheated on the hot girlfriend, and then she came and you've heard them yell in the frat, and she's like, "I can't believe you do this." And he's like, "Babe, I didn't like to do it. All like it was here, and no, it was fine."
Right. He just kept going in the same circle.
Totally.
Trying to-
And he's like, "All I can say is like, I'm sorry." Yeah, no shit, you're sorry, douche canoe.
Yeah, and I'd like to have you, and I'd like to give this a shot. Fuck. She said, I would love her, and go, fuck off.
Yeah.
And the audience was pretty fucked up too. They're like cheering, like, yeah, breakups are great. And she's like, yeah, I don't think this deserves applause.
No, this is okay.
She said that?
Yeah.
This what the best part was is they're like, "All right, we'll bring out Jed," and it was silent.
Like
and then
this. It was like this.
no, one guy was like, "Whoops a daisy."
No one clapped for him.
One
It
guy
was-
clapped, and it was like,
it was sad.
Such a shitty thing to do to somebody.
Yeah, it is
no
horrible.
shit.
It's horrible. Like,
Do you think the producers
brutal.
knew?
knew that? I don't know. He probably. I mean, that could have gone either way.
They wanted the drama,
Could've
and then
gone
it
either
kept
way.
going, and they're like, "Oh,
It's possible that they knew. It's possible they didn't. I mean, I know that there's sometimes that they just protect that secret for shit like this, and sometimes they just legit don't know about it. They ask him if he broke up with her, and because there's been many times on this show that people have been revealed to have girlfriends, but sometimes the producers let it come out during the show so the drama comes out. So
yeah.
maybe they didn't know about it. I don't know.
I'm telling you, you got to go. If you didn't watch his proposal with the guitar,
I can't do it.
watch it. I've never
I
been
don't
more
think I
embarrassed for
watched.
somebody on television ever because
Well,
you're like,
he kinda deserves it now.
Well, because he got on the show for his country music, right? And he did play the one song at the beginning of the show that was actually kind of catchy, like "I'll beat you, Mr. Right," and it was like pretty good. It was pretty good.
It
was a
sounds
little
like that. I
catchy.
don't know why it's on the top chart.
It's pretty.
Play it.
It's pretty. But then he in the proposal, he was like, "I wanna." I was like, "Oh, don't hit the high note." It's like me trying to hit the high note in Rosanna at karaoke.
He's
Like it was
probably
brutal.
so nervous
Yeah.
because he knew he had a girlfriend.
Well, no, he didn't have a girlfriend anymore at that point.
He knew he was in love with somebody a day before he left.
Right, and it's in 2 months.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Gigi.
so good news for everybody out there. There was a finale, so we won't be talking about this for much. Also, Bachelor in Paradise next week. I'm telling you,
You're gonna watch?
you've got to watch at least 2 episodes of Bachelor in Paradise. Well,
I'm
that show
gonna-
to me, that's the one, like this one I can't watch all the time. It's just too dull. Unless I like the like when shit's going down, the drama and stuff, and when they're beating the shit out of each other. I like it. The guys that is.
Did you see John Paul Jones crying in the
John
teaser?
Paul Jones is in this, so you got to watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that
John
because
Paul Jones.
this conversation, I felt like it was my first day in calculus. I
Right.
couldn't follow
Yeah, it's-
anything.
right.
I was like,
See, I watch enough TV like this. I follow completely.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Bachelor in Paradise though, that's the one. Like, because it's a train wreck, and even for you guys who hate
That, I'm more my speed.
hate the way that we talk about Bachelor and Bachelorette. Watch it with us just so you're on board.
I know,
So-
Kristian, you wet the whistle because you know I don't want to talk about wrestling ever.
Yes.
But I really enjoy talking about this. So it's the flip and the flop.
So you see what I'm saying? Yeah,
yes,
it's the
yes.
same thing. So
One of these days, one of you will watch Big
I
Brother.
watched an episode last night.
Not a Big Brother.
No.
it was on my TV, Roxy, and you know what I did?
Changed the
I
channel.
fell asleep. And
I
think
watched
Julie
Peanut
actually
Butter
watched
Falcon
it.
instead after
Yeah.
The Bachelorette.
Peanut Butter Falcon's amazing.
Yes.
It's so good.
What else did I watch? Did I watch anything else? No, I didn't. But
Nothing?
well, I think what I'm going to do, because my wife has seen Infinity War, but I'm going to make her watch it again because there's no chance in hell
She remembers,
that she remembers what the fuck happened in the last one. And I said to her, I said, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to watch Infinity War,
Yeah.
and then we're going to watch. She goes, no, we're not. I said, yes, we are. She said, why are we going to do that? I just
Back
watched.
to back.
She goes, this is my wife's famous words that she says all the time. She's like, we just watched that. That's right. And she says it all the time. And I said to her, because the ongoing joke is I say, let's watch Inception. And she goes, we just watched that. I said, in 2011 when it came out of the theaters.
Yeah.
That is the last time we watched it. And she's like, yeah, but you've seen it a lot. I was like, yeah, but we haven't watched it together.
You should quiz her.
Uh,
Oh, we just watched Infinity War. Who's alive?
she won't know.
Ooh.
She won't know.
I don't know. Going into Endgame, I didn't know.
But what I
also
what I
fell
did
asleep.
yeah, what I did think that I
And
could
Infinity
do
War.
is I could watch the last hour with her and still connect into the night. I just wanted to be able to have those emotional responses to what's going to happen in Endgame because I really look
Is your
forward to
daughter
watching
too
it.
young to watch?
Yeah, I think so for now. But it was funny. She walked in yesterday where I was turned on Infinity War for a second, and Netflix just starts playing it. So my daughter walks in. She goes, "What's this? She's like, is this Star Wars?" And I go, "No." She's like, "What is this?" And then she looks and she goes, "I don't think I should be watching this. This looks really adult." Right? And then I was like, "No, it's Avengers." She's like, "I don't think I'm ready yet, Dad, but I'm interested." Right?
That's really
I would say
cute.
the moment at the end of Infinity War when they all go dust, that's kind of
It's
for a kid.
there's a couple of things in those movies, but my daughter is just she's got
Who
definitely
goes
the timing.
dust?
She's got the timing. You're gonna like this. So
Spoiler. Kidding.
the morning
Good one.
mornings happen. Mornings
Nailed that.
happen, and you got to let out the fart. So
Yeah.
so I'm in the kitchen. It happens, right? So I didn't know where my daughter was. She walks in. She's like, "Come on, Dad, that was a trap." She's 7.
She's 7.
And I looked at her. I said, "Yeah, that was funny, Vivian. You're a funny kid."
Amanda walked in this morning. She goes to
Caught a whiff.
Pilates early in the morning, right? And she right before she left Pilates, I was still laying in bed. I was about to start and finish Peanut Butter Falcon. She comes in, she goes, "Nope," and walked right to because I had farted.
You had ripped one. Yeah.
Nope. And went
That's
right
a
to
thing for you
Pilates.
guys in the morning?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
the-
know what it
the-
is.
The system's got to reboot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Here's
yeah.
Here's a crazy story. Okay, so I was living in Germany at the time. I was doing I did a summer in high school in Germany, and the family I lived with had a flat, and the parents stayed upstairs, and then the kids I lived with a brother and his younger brother, and there was 2 bedrooms downstairs. So I get 2, but the kitchen and everything was upstairs, right where the parents had a bedroom. So the second morning I'm there, it sounds like there was just moving chairs for 5 minutes. Like, who keeps moving those chairs? It was the dad farting.
That's good. And by the way, you watching right now, brush your teeth. Your breath stinks. There's somebody out there that's true. So I don't know who it is.
And whoever you are, did you breathe on this microphone again?
If you're watching right now, you know who you are. Check your breath. And if it stinks, pause it and then come back because you know who you are. And I guarantee, like, someone's going to be like, that was me. And right in there.
Okay,
I've done that
back.
before. We're like, God bless you. And someone's like, hey, I just sneezed. That was weird.
Psychic.
All right, let's talk about some movie news. We got some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see you later. Where are you going?
To get
To get my computer
so
because I'm
it's-
so worried about you spilling on it. So you want to talk more about the Irishman trailer, or did we cover
I
it?
think we covered it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I
What
just
do you
can't
think you
believe you
do?
guys didn't think it was so. I
wrong?
was so
Why
worried.
haven't we seen a Bad Boys 3 teaser yet or anything?
That's a
Not
good question. When
It's
does it
not
come
good
out
news.
again?
I don't know, but why do I want horseradish right now?
You have the weirdest cravings,
It's
like
weird.
a pregnant
You're like
woman.
a
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
true. I want horseradish.
Really?
By itself?
No, with something. But like maybe
like
like
what?
some
on a nice
prime
roast
rib.
beef
I'm a
sandwich.
big roast beef sandwich guy.
It's no, all right. It's really
Want
good.
some cookies?
Cookies
some
are very-
cookies?
Horseradish and
Oysters.
cookies?
Oysters.
Oysters.
Oh, there's some
We
oysters.
should
You know where
go
we should
get
go? It's the
oysters.
fucking Burbank place. The one
Blue
that-
Plate
Yeah.
Oyster?
No, the one.
Oh,
pizza?
Castaway.
Yes.
Let's go.
Castaway has good oysters.
I want to go.
We
I
should
love
go.
oysters.
It's good.
Have you, do you like horseradish in your Bloody Marys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, me
Yes, I
too.
do.
I do.
Although I can't drink a Bloody Mary and eat food.
It's
It
a
makes
drink
me-
drink.
It's so filling.
It's a meal.
Yeah, it's a meal.
Bloody
Have you ever
Marys?
been to one of those
Yeah.
places that has like all the stuff coming out of the Bloody
Yes,
Marys?
bacon.
So good.
and
The
all-
club thing I go to, they pack it with the.
Oh, yeah.
See, I
don't-
love that.
They put olives in it, and I'm not an olives guy. I don't like olives.
Do you like
but
flavors?
olives?
Me neither.
No,
Yeah,
what the fuck
can't
am I
do
doing? I like
olives.
I don't like olives, but I do like when
Communists.
it sits in the
like the
Bloody
flavor.
Mary. I don't like to eat the actual olive itself.
That's what
Does-
is it the texture?
Yeah,
Because
it's-
that's
it's
for me.
it's
Because
a lot of
I
it.
love a dirty martini.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say.
olive juice. And
Does
it's like
Sadie
great.
like olives?
Yeah, she doesn't mind them, but she doesn't like.
You guys don't like a little
They
bowl of
say
olives,
that-
snack on them, spit out the pits?
Nah.
It's the Italian. And
They
yes.
say that with olives and pickles, usually in
Pickles I
couples.
love.
One person likes, the other person not so much.
No, we're both like pickles.
And pickleback is the best thing to ever drink. It's
Picklebacks are
amazing.
great.
Yeah, pickles are good. Okay, what do we got going on?
All right, Deadline is reporting we finally have
Yes.
the Dungeons
Oh.
and Dragons movie closer to happening. Sources are saying that Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, the
Yeah,
directors
Fixing Geeks.
of Game Night, they're
Didn't they write
in talks.
Spider-Man too?
And they wrote Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah,
right.
they're in talks to direct for Hasbro's Allspark Pictures banner.
Now, this is a very Dungeons and Dragons has gone a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Since that original movie came out, right? When would that movie come out? In the 90s, whatever it was.
Was
Like,
that the
early
U Bowl?
90s.
yeah, because it was still a very popular thing, like underground, but it is blown up. When you look at people like Joe Manganiello and just Kyle Newman, all these people who play Dungeons and Dragons, our friend Matt Mercer, like it's got this really cult, big, not even cult anymore. It's
Stranger Things kids.
right. But it's big. It's big. It's got a big audience. This is. You want to make sure that it's not just someone capitalizing. I don't think these guys might be huge fans of Dungeons and Dragons, but you want to do this right for the hardcore fan because you can start a pretty big franchise here.
Should have made it a series. Live action.
yeah.
Instead of this Lord of the Rings series, for whatever reason, they're doing that.
The prequel series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does it take place? The prequel.
I want to say it's like 3,000 years
Oh, okay.
before.
You don't think they should be doing a Lord of the Rings series?
I don't know.
Or no,
I'm just-
sorry. Actually, I don't know. Oh, I thought you were talking about Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
No. The Lord of the Rings series is not a prequel. It is
No.
it's basically the same retread of the movies. It's just
I thought it
longer.
was
Wait,
some...
it's just the movie.
There's no other source material to go from.
No, they're
No.
pulling from the
No.
Silmarillion, which is some of the expanded
happens
stuff
afterwards?
after, before.
So we're not going to have Viggo Mortensen in this.
No,
right?
none of
me-
the originals.
Let's see. Let's
Apparently,
see.
it follows a young Aragorn.
Ah,
Oh,
prequel.
So it is a
According to this
prequel.
article.
So you guys are just talking out of your assholes.
I just don't really care.
I am talking out of my mouth, and I think that I'm excited for that and
I
for
am too.
Dungeons
I am
and
too.
Dragons. I always wanted to learn to play Dungeons and Dragons. I think I'd be really into it because of all the role play stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun. But it's interesting to see what the community thinks about this movie versus what us as people who are just going to be watching a movie and
Right.
need to have a strong story.
Well, that's kind of exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking, and I think that more will come out from the community when we find out how they're going to approach it and how they're and how big of fans are they, because not all the time with properties do the creators or directors need to be massive fans? But I think with something like this, you should be. I think you should be massive fans. I think you should play. I think you should be in these games.
Do you think, Kristian, this should be one of those they're playing the game and the game comes to life situations, or do you think we start in a Dungeons and Dragons world?
Yeah, I'd rather stay
Okay.
there. I don't want to do a Princess Bride type
thing?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that it's going to kill it if it does, but just put it in the
I
world.
mean, I think this is a fan service. I don't think they're going to do it for like people that have no idea about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's going to be some exposition, but it's going to be a lot of like, not to take a, but there's like the Mandalorian's going to have so much Star Wars stuff in there that the casual non-Star Wars fan has no idea.
Well,
I wonder then how-
I want to read this part of it here. Sorry, Rex. Like the game itself, mounting a screen version of Dungeons and Dragons has been a battle, including several years in the courts over a right dispute. Warner Brothers and New Line tried several incarnations, including one with Lego Batman helmer Chris McKay. He instead took Ghost Draft at Skydance with Chris Pratt, and the project lost steam when another Smash video game title adaptation, the $160 million budget Warcraft, didn't work in the U.S. for Legendary and Universal. It got panned here, though it did well overseas, but it certainly didn't help Dungeons and Dragons, which slipped loose with Paramount stepping in to take the shot. If the film somehow captures even some of the rabid player audience, it could be a blockbuster. Michael Giglio wrote the most recent draft, and Brian Goldner and Stephen Davis are producing for Allspark. So,
Allspark.
yeah, but I think that kind of reiterates what we're saying here: is that if you can capture if that fan base, if you can get them, it could be big.
Again, I would much rather see a Dungeons and Dragons series to introduce me to a new world as opposed to a Lord of the Rings.
That's what they're doing with Magic the Gathering.
You're not a big fantasy guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
listen,
like
I loved.
fantasy.
If you put together like my favorite parts of Journey, what's the first one called? Hobbit's Journey. No, like the
Yeah, Hobbit. The Hobbit.
No. The Lord of the Rings. What's the first? Fellowship of the Ring.
Fellowship.
Okay. First one, like a little bit part of that, a lot of the Two Towers, and like a miniature part of Return of the King. Then I think it's a great movie together.
You love Return of the King. You talk about it every 10 minutes.
No. I love Two Towers. I'm just saying. I always compare to the Return of the King.
He mentions it a lot.
Oh, but he doesn't-
he mentions it all the time to the point where you would think he would love
Right,
it.
but
but
he
I
just
don't-
references it.
I'm referencing it because it was nominated for so many Academy Awards,
Right.
and it wasn't like a death becomes my miniature man inside of a gay guy. It's like it's not one of those Oscar movies that's like has every box of all time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the like Call Me by Your Name. Let me like it's got to have a tragedy and only makes $400,000.
My miniature man inside a gay guy.
Like it's.
I see someone's working on that poster. right now,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. I'm not like trying to insult any of these. I'm just saying
You did
like
already.
Oscar movies are like 9 out of 10
Oh my
times it's like a
God.
movie nobody's seen, and then like a couple of the movies are really good that people love. and
How'd you
it's
feel
like,
about Roma?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that's 2.5 hours of dog shitting I'll never get back in my life.
Let me tell you something, by the way, that I've never mentioned on this show, and thank God I just remembered it. I got something going on next door to me right now in my apartment that is ridiculous.
What's happening?
It's a smell. Does it stink?
No, it's not a stink. It's
It's a dog?
It's a neighbor. It's a neighbor. And
Wait, the med students that
no,
we
no,
like?
no. They're connected. This is next door. So I'm out playing with my two kids, and my oldest is shooting hoops. The other one's just running around laughing, and this music starts blasting in the courtyard next. They started working on the courtyard. It used to just be like it almost reminded me of the Sandlot, not the Sandlot. Stand By Me, the junkyard. Right?
Oh,
but,
yeah.
they switched it out. They built it out, and it's an actually functioning yard. So I just see this guy, and it's weird. It's almost like a movie. Like he won't show his face, but he's got his headphones on, right, for a second. Then he takes the headphones off and just blasts the music, and it ranges. It could be Pink Floyd, it could be Britney Spears. And he's just doing this, right? And he's just doing this.
He's really doing that, Kristian?
I swear. And my wife was like, "Look at what's happening right now. Look at what's happening." And we look, and he's doing this. The music's playing, and he blasts it, and it's like, put your headphones on. Right? It's like blasting it, but then he's playing guitar at night, and it's the worst. It's worse than Jet, I'm sure, and it's like when someone
He's
just
trying to learn.
I don't know. It sounds like he thinks he's playing in front of the Garden, in front of 6,000 people, because he's belting high. Worst singer you're ever going to hear in your life, and the strings. It's atrocious. But God bless his heart because he's trying. But it's loud. Windows are open. It's just like that's.
Are you going to say something?
No, because the thing is when he's doing the weird dancing with the music, it's during the day, so it's like I'm not gonna bother the guy. He's blasting his music and he's whatever.
It sounds very familiar to the guy that lives next door to me in my apartment building, though because he's actually like joined to it. He blares music and it's not very good, and he smokes cigarettes inside, which is obviously terrible.
Right.
And he's got 4 cats. And the other day
We
I
might have
heard
the same guy.
I think it's the same person.
But
Dual residency.
what about at nighttime though? You're not going to say anything. You
No,
said
because
a lot more for a lot less.
Because the nighttime thing, it's connected. Like if I'm watching television and I have my window open, I can hear it. But if I close the window and then I just kind of go into the next room and he stops by the time I go to sleep, I'm not. If it was like 1 a.m, then I probably would say something, but it's not. And the reason I brought it up is the dog from Roma.
Oh, yeah.
He has this dog. It's like every time you walk by, come on, man. We've been living here for years, dog. You should know that.
You got to train your dog to not
Don't
bark.
bark.
Like it's really a thing. And I have a neighbor, the same thing. There's this little yappy dog named Choco, and it just every time you walk by the door, it's just like it's the worst
It's
thing.
always
in
the
the
little
world.
dogs. Every time I walk by, they just bark the hell out of us.
But if you were that little, you'd probably bark at everything too.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Roxy's
I don't
little.
bark on everything. Yeah.
What? Exactly. Okay.
That was the worst
anyway,
bark ever.
Woof, woof. Is
No.
Christian Rubicaba anywhere nearby anyway?
I can yell at him.
Christian. Thank you.
Hey, get over here.
He does the best impression
Of the dog.
of
Of Grace's
Grace's
dog.
dog.
Yeah.
It's really good.
He's walking up right now.
Good. I want him to do it.
How'd
So-
their move go? I haven't spoken to them.
I was with Ken yesterday, currently in the mix. It's
Yeah.
currently
Walking in the
keeping
room
going.
right now.
He's walking right now. Okay.
Hey, Christian, they want you to do your.
Oh, no.
Oh, never mind.
Don't say anything yet. I want to ask him. So, hey.
Okay, he needs headphones. Hold on. Give him headphones. He's getting it.
Because we're
Happy birthday, Cody.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Hey, thanks.
Happy birthday, Cody.
All right, headphones are on.
All right. Hey, Christian, nice to be joined by you.
Nice to be joined.
So we were doing impressions, and you have probably the best impression that I think we've ever heard, even if not everybody knows what it is. You used to do a great impression of Grace's dog.
Oh, yeah.
What was the dog's name? Tidbit?
Rat.
Rat. Close.
Rat.
All right. So
I like Tidbit.
I do like Tidbit.
Tidbit was my friend's dog from years ago.
You should name a dog Tidbit. I
Yeah.
like it.
So would you please, if you would please do this impression?
All right. Okay, it's been a while.
Yes,
so.
I know.
All right.
That's good.
So hold on. You get that?
Keep going. Oh, yeah. Please.
We're almost there.
Until I can listen to this for a while.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
You know what? Let's.
So that's pretty good.
So Rat. What about Rat at a coffee shop? But she just everyone that walks by, she's barking at.
Did a rat spoiler review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, please. Thank you so much. It was really good.
Christian
It was
Rubicaba,
really good.
everybody. Well done.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Thank you. Nice impression there for Rat. I mean, shit. I thought the Arnold doing Lion King was a hit.
That was great.
Pretty good.
It was really good. Okay.
Tidbit. I gotta remember that.
Tidbit was the dog that little. It was a little Boston Terrier that used
I
to
love
run with
Boston
Tazzy.
Terriers.
And they
It
were
was
like
also
partners in crime.
Ready Player One, the dog Tidbit.
Was it really?
Yeah, 8-Bit and Tidbit were the two dogs.
Yeah, that was good. That's good. All right, what's
Oh,
next?
it was not true.
No, but it was good. He sold it well.
I tried my best.
That's what I thought you were doing with me with the Bruce Springsteen thing. That's how much I
no,
didn't.
no.
I can't believe that I've
It's
been
legit.
that in the dark. Nobody told me. Nobody cares about
Were
me.
you blinded by the light?
But
Oh!
why is that the name of the movie?
Why isn't it?
Yeah, why is it?
Bruce Springsteen has a song called "Blinded by the Light."
But what happens? Like, what is the premise of the movie?
He gets his eyes. I think in the beginning of
He
the lights
goes
go out
to
in
an
his
eye
apartment.
doctor, and they accidentally blind him.
Yeah,
and
by the light.
Yeah.
He's looked into a
What
lamp
is?
for far too long.
And also, I'm trying to think of Bruce's song. That is that. What is?
Blinded by the light.
That's not Bruce.
Yes, it is.
What?
He's
Wrapped
what?
up like
Oh,
a
you
dude.
do, son, and the runner in the night.
Blinded.
Isn't that a?
Bruce
You're
Springsteen
thinking about
wrote
the
the,
cover.
song
Oh,
"Man for Man."
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cover.
okay.
It's
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah. The
original
cover
song.
is.
It says.
Who is it? Like Meatloaf or somebody?
No,
Manfred Mann is what the name of the band
Yeah. But it
Okay,
wrapped
you're-
up like a douche. Wrapped up like a douche.
The Bruce Springsteen
Guys,
song is very different too.
I gotta brush up on all my Bruce. I've been taking years off, and I finally just listened to Wild Horse or whatever the fuck it's called.
Wild Horses?
What is his new album called?
Yeah, that was the one, the
I
first
just listened to the whole album. I was not as big a fan as everybody else was, but the first three songs are pretty good.
Yeah, me too. I like
And
that
there's
song.
like an 11th song that was good too.
All right, what
is
else
it
is
called?
happening in the news?
Big press release just dropped, and looks like James Wan is not going to direct Aquaman 2 next. He's going back to horror. He's going to do an indie horror
knew that,
movie.
though.
James Wan? Yeah, he said something along those lines.
yeah.
But
Sometimes
we
you
didn't
have
know
to
what.
relearn things.
We didn't know
Like
if what he was going to do, though. We didn't know, so now a press release has said he's going to have New Line distribute, and he's working on it with the Nun co-writer Ingrid Bisu, and it's a horror film / thriller that he's going to do.
Wait, who's
first.
Ingrid? She's from The
She
Nun?
wrote The Nun with him.
That's
Or-
Josh's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's an indie horror movie that they're billing.
The guy likes
Indie
horror
horror thriller. Are you kidding me? I'm so
Guy
glad
likes
he's going
horror
back to. Yeah,
It's a fact.
that's how he started. I'm glad he's going back to do this.
That's what he likes to do.
Remember in Aquaman when we open with the shutters and it's like by the lighthouse, whatever it was? He just clearly wants to do that kind of thing.
the
no
trench.
matter.
Style, man.
Nice pun there. Well done. He clearly wants to do that.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. Blinded by the light.
Because I want to do him to do something
I'm
else.
having an off month, guys. Woof.
Yeah, sorry.
Did James Wan do any of the Fast and the Furiouses? Or is
Yeah,
that Justin
he did
Lin?
Fast 7.
He did,
Fast
he
Seven.
did the one when
Paul
Paul
Walker.
Walker passed.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he
That's a
handled it
great
like a
one.
boss. He
Yeah.
really did. Yes.
James Wan.
Another thing I realized that I've been doing up until this point was calling it Fast and the Furious. Not
That-
Fast and Furious.
That's okay.
But they do change
Change
it
it.
every once in a while.
It's
It's like
confusing
the
me.
Fast and Furious, Fast and
and
Furious,
Furious,
Fast
Fast
7,
and- yeah.
Furious 8.
Fate
So
of
what
the
is that?
Furious.
So wait. So it also says Juan may not be directing the I Know What You Did Last
Oh,
Summer
that
TV
was some
review.
news that he debunked.
Okay.
They're going to be doing a I Know What You Did Last Summer
Yeah, and they said
TV
he-
show, and he said he was going to direct the pilot. And
No,
then
he didn't say. Someone did.
someone did,
And
and
he
he came
debunked
out and
it.
said, nope.
You know,
I would like that,
I've
actually.
seen that movie.
You've never seen it?
No, I've seen that.
Oh, good for
I
you.
Did you
did
like
last
it?
summer.
Was this...
Oh, I mean, that was terrifying. I'll
Yeah.
never go to Boston. I'll never go to the Cape or be a fisherman anywhere near there.
What?
Yeah.
You would never go to the Cape
Because
because
of
of
that
that?
movie?
Well, like on the docks, there were people with like slickers on.
True.
Cape is actually amazing.
I've heard it's very nice. I'll go to the beach at the Cape or like a nice cottage
It's
with
Yeah, I
the
wanna
people.
do it
best.
too. That's
Kristian, you
one
never
place-
been?
No, it's one place I definitely always wanted to go.
That's on my list.
Bummer because we sold our Cape House this year. Otherwise, we
Good.
could all gone.
Thanks. Well,
Yeah.
thanks
I
for
have a buddy
offering
with a
last
Cape
year when you
place.
still had it. Appreciate it.
We could all rent a
We've been
place
doing
there.
the show
It-
for almost a year. Oh yeah, I've known you for.
I was thinking
5.
about that. I think we started in September.
It was like
October?
late
No.
August, early September.
Late
August
August.
20th.
August.
Yeah, there it is.
This show?
Yeah.
So really, it has almost been a year.
Almost been a year.
Tomorrow's August.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Holy shit balls on the balls of shit. So go to this channel, by the way, if you haven't already done that, Collider Live. If you're not watching on this channel, then how the hell are you watching it? Subscribe to Collider Live. Download us on the podcast form, Apple Podcasts, and you can check out all the clips that we have on there too, celebrity interviews, and it's been a lot of fun this past year for sure.
It sure has.
Okay, so what else?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been great.
This past
It's like
year.
Stephen Wright.
It's been-
It's been good.
He's
I
so
like
great.
it. You should do
Do you know
more
who Stephen Wright
interviews.
is? Roxy?
Great.
He's an amazing stand-up comedian with the driest
Reservoir
delivery.
Dogs.
The driest.
Oh,
He was the radio guy in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Joey Egan and then
he's a stand-up?
Stand-up. He's
Still?
like- I don't think he performs anywhere anymore.
maybe not. I don't know.
I
haven't
did
seen him.
watch the Comedians in Cars with
Murphy.
Yeah, I did. Did you
good.
check it out?
I watched a lot of it.
It was longer than most of his are.
Yeah.
You'd imagine. It was as compared to a lot of them, it was kind of a little more boring.
It made
than-
me a little sad.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't quite as funny and just felt like
It was an advertisement.
Yeah.
It was an advertisement to let people know that he was coming back to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was them just talking about how his prep and all that kind of stuff.
Imagine being the biggest celebrity in the world. Okay, you have probably the greatest stand-up, in my opinion, the greatest stand-up special ever made. You are like the king of franchise movies. You do Lethal Weapon. You do Coming to America. Everything you
Lethal
touch,
Weapon.
or Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
Everything you touch turns to gold, and then all of a sudden the world turns on you. Everything he touched turned to shit, and nobody was watching his movies anymore. He didn't win the Oscar. He goes through that shit with the kids and the trial with the ex-wife and the cheating and everything. He just wanted to.
Yeah, Divine
Go
Brown
away.
too.
You know, I mean-
well, Divine Brown was Hugh Grant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did, but he did something.
He
like
was
that.
with Sporty Spice, wasn't he? There was one Spice Girl, wasn't
Mel? Oh no, that's scary. Sporty?
he? No, he was with Mel B. I think he had a child
That's
with
scary.
her. It
Oh,
was
really?
like- yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay, scary.
Sporty looked.
Yeah,
Sporty.
but I mean, imagine you're Eddie Murphy. Would you want to get on stage in front of people, or would you just want to sit on your millions and hang out?
Right.
I mean,
Well, he said he likes hanging out with his kids.
Yeah.
He likes to do nothing.
I don't know
wouldn't you?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to, and it's funny that this particular thing keeps coming back up because I've been watching a lot of old boxing clips, and then when you're on YouTube, it just sends you down a road. I had watched one of my favorite Joe Rogan interviews that he had done was with Mike Tyson. Right? I think I listened to that in New York when we were going to New York for the Schmodown. And Tyson had said something because Joe was asking him about whether or not he had done if he still works out. Or if he hits a bag, you're like, nah, man, I can't do that because I'm gonna do the whole thing. But he does. But the fact
That was
he
really good though.
yeah, but he gets into it brings back the warriors. Like Rocky says, he's still got stuff in the basement, right? So when he hits it, it brings it back in him. So he can't even hit it because it brings that the warrior out. Same like Eddie Murphy, same thing. Like you go around, like if you're around mics, if you're around stuff, you want to do it again. It's in you. It's like a fighter. And like Marvin Hagler was another one. Same thing. You can't hit the bag. You can't do this because it's just it's like an addiction.
Totally.
And stand up is very much like that. When I go to the Comedy Store, like I want when I'm sitting in the Comedy Store, that's why I don't ever go.
That's why
Like,
it's so hard to watch stand-up. If you've done stand-up and you've killed and you've did it for a long time and you've gotten away from it, you just want to be on stage.
I'm telling you, when I go to the Comedy Store and I go back to that room that I was in 7 nights a week, 2 shows a night, I sit there and I say, you know what, I'm going to call my wife and I'm not going to come back this week. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to go back and what am I doing? Get the fuck out of here, and I leave.
You know, it's interesting too. My dad always said this growing up. Since he got out of the industry, he does not go to concerts. He will not go to a concert, and it's so funny because he's still friends with a lot of the people. And the guy who manages Pearl Jam is one of his closest friends, and he always is calling us, asking us, "Do you want backstage? Do you want whatever?" And
Just wanna be around it.
he will not step foot. He will not unless it's a musician friend who is like begging him to come see his show. He will not go in. It like gives him a half version of PTSD, and then also that pull to come back is too strong.
Right.
It's nowhere near
kinda
the
crazy.
same as any of that, but I swam my entire life from the time I was 7 years old every single day until I was 18. If I jump in a pool now, the training aspect, I go back to a place and all I want to do is race, and I don't have that in me. My
Do you do
body's
laps?
never. And
No,
that's
because
people
that'll
like,
get you
why don't
right.
you swim? I don't. It's like PTSD. It brings me back to want to train.
You know
and
when it's
then-
going to come back though?
What's that?
When you teach your kids how to swim.
Correct. Yeah.
That's when it's going to come back.
Yeah.
What is he? What's going to come back? He's going to do laps and train.
He's going to teach his kids how to swim because he doesn't need to have to do like me. What I got to let people teach my kids
Right.
the lessons, but he's going to be able to do it himself, and he's going to get that. He's going to get that the feel.
Kristian, 5 years, 10 years from now, Viv comes to you. She wants to be a stand-up. What do you do?
Oh,
I'm not, minus the stupid thing that you brought out there too. There's select career
I
choices.
was literally going to be like,
Yeah.
okay, she comes to you. She's
There's
like, I'm
so-
going to be a
there-
naked
yeah,
stand.
there's-
Oh, I remember
there's,
this
there's
now.
select.
I
There's
don't know why
select career
Vivian has a
choices,
New York
I know.
accent. I'm sorry.
There's select career choices that I would say, hey, what are you doing? I'm a bad parent that you want to do this.
Yeah.
But stand-up comedy, I'd say try it.
Do you help her though?
Of course.
So she's like, "This is a bit. What do you think?"
Of course.
I just-
Absolutely. And then probably want to like do 10 minutes after. It's like I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't tell you how many times I've been thinking about like maybe I jump up on stage in New York
I feel like every day you think about it.
all the time. And I was
I
like,
want you to so bad for selfish reasons, though.
my problem is that what I tell
What's
myself
happening?
is
I just keep laughing, thinking of your daughter walking in like dice clay to your house, being like, "Dad, I'm gonna be a stand-up." You're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay."
she's
I
sitting
don't know
there
why she's dice.
eating her cereal this morning.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell you.
so
but-
about these fucking eggs.
That's right. Make the fucking eggs.
Do you
But-
happen to have a pencil?
Yeah, I do. I think about it all the time. My problem is that, like, because Ellis has asked me countless amount of times, "Hey, you want to do some time at the show like the night before Schmodown?" And I tell myself, "Oh, maybe I'll go up. I'll do like 10 minutes." But I can't do with Brett. Like look at Kate. Kate's a perfect example, right? Kate is someone who she got back on stage. She's extremely talented, and she's got the bug again. She wants to go up a million times. And and God bless her, she can do it now because she's got the kids and everything too. It's one more thing I would add on my plate because if I start doing it, I'm going to want to do it all the time again. And then it's like yeah.
If you had to guess, though, between now and whenever you go, are you going to go back up on stage?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. 'Cause, I mean, it's.
I guarantee one day you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I just feel like you've been talking about it and talking about it. And
Well, I did one thing.
What
I was
if-
driving in my car about like a month ago, and I just started doing a whole bunch of voice memos, and then I read them back. I'm like, I don't know if any of that would work.
What if Ellis asked you, because I think he did for yours, what if Ellis asked you for his 45th birthday to do a set?
To do a set,
Because
or
that's
say
what.
some words.
Well,
They say some words. I
but-
mean,
or a
about him.
roast.
Yeah,
What was it at your
that's
40th?
different.
It was a
yeah, but
everybody.
that's a roast. That's a different
would
thing.
do it?
Yeah, of course, a roast is different than actually going up and doing a set. It's just my thing is not. It has nothing to do with the nerves because I've been doing Schmodown and all that stuff too. It has nothing to do with the nerves. It's just a matter of doing it and then saying,
You're on the
"All
mic
right."
every single day.
But because then I know what I do. I know myself. I would do a set in New York, and then I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna call the store, and I'm gonna get up at the store. You know, I'm gonna go to the Improv, try to do a couple things there too. Okay, honey, I got a screening tonight. Then I'm gonna do stand up tomorrow night. It's like
you're afraid of that can of worms opening up there?
yeah,
because it's a commitment.
It's an addiction. It's an addiction when you're doing it, and you've been doing it for so long, and it's.
Have you talked to Sadie about it?
She wouldn't want me to get back in the stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, because I do everything that I do now with all this stuff. It's just it's too
It
much.
would be an either or situation.
It's just too much. It's just like with
Because you still got to be a dad.
Once the
and
girls are
husband.
like in high school, you could probably go.
maybe, and by that point, and that's the other thing. I've been
Then
out
you
of the
have new
game for like
material.
a long time. Oh yeah, that was like Kate. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock. We're gonna take a break. When
do
we
it.
get back, we will talk about a couple more things on the news, but then we'll talk about Hobbs and Shaw. Myself and Roxy have seen it, so we'll talk about Hobbs and Shaw. And then at 11:30, Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz talking about the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You're looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark
Here's a
Fernandez.
dumb
We talk
take.
everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. New episode drops every
Blow me,
Saturday
Kristian, come on.
and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television.
I like
Me
it.
and great guests from
Make
our
it big,
sphere
and then
do the
make
best
it
to
big,
answer your questions
make it
from
big,
Twitter,
and then we'll
from
watch it.
Instagram,
I like
and
it.
of course email as well every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemrov here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horrorful podcast with
You better
myself
listen,
on the
Jack.
couch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the witching hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'll be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week. right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose, Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real. You guys are definitely on air, by the way.
Good.
What I just said?
You're like,
Yeah, my puppy's a lunatic. She's just crazy.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Chewing on potato chips.
I see that.
Oh, Cody doesn't like it. He holds up signs and says, don't chew into the mic. You know I watch you guys afterwards, right?
Yep.
Wait till you see the intro of what they did when they announced Cody's birthday.
I know. Who was in the carrot costume?
That was Remsen.
Okay.
Good guy.
Makes sense. Where'd you guys just find it just like laying around?
Yeah, we just went into that closet and
Yeah.
grabbed a bunch of random
That,
Ellis
that
part.
creepy closet. Yeah, the old. Hey, you
The
guys got
spider
the
closet.
You guys got the red lighting on here for some reason. What's going
It
on?
was from the last break when I told you guys to
Oh,
break. It's off
gosh,
now, Josh.
there you go.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see
did.
when you did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Cody.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into the rest of this news, then we'll jump into Hobbs and Shaw. Do we have anything else?
We can talk since the Irishman's out. We have Deadline reporting that Martin Scorsese is going to reteam again with Robert De Niro, but with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, cool. For what?
Irishman 2, still Irish.
No.
Yeah.
It's the
Italian.
Not Irish anymore.
Killers
Not Irish
of
anymore.
the Flower Moon. It's an adaptation that he's been working on. Scorsese's been working on with DiCaprio for many years now.
Is this their first reteam, De Niro and DiCaprio, since This Boy's Life?
I know. I think so. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Since what movie?
This Boy's Life?
This Boy's Life is one of the best movies. Have you seen it?
No.
It's
Yeah.
young Leo DiCaprio.
De Niro.
Like
And
growing
De
pains?
Niro.
Yeah, well, a little bit past that, but like De Niro plays like his abusive stepfather.
Yeah, and talking about Ellen Barkin the other day,
Right, Ellen
remember?
Barkin,
Ellen
right.
Barkin's in it, and Leo always said that he just studied De Niro
Yeah.
on that movie.
Yeah.
It's got a great you would love
Masterclass.
it. Yeah,
Do you think De
masterclass.
Niro is one of the top 10 of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, and he turned himself around also too because he was turned into he's just one of those actors that if he shows up, like it's never going to hurt his legacy. But he was doing a lot of shit for a while. But then he did like Silver Linings Playbook, all these movies again. It's like he's still got it. It's like that wrestling chant.
I mean, he was so good in Meet the Parents, but then they made Meet the Fuckers and Meet the Parents 3 or whatever.
Right.
I liked Meet the Fockers. You didn't like Meet the Fockers?
I loved Meet the Fockers, yeah.
I mean, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was
so
good.
hysterical.
But nothing is going to compare to Meet the Parents. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Meet the Parents is one of the most perfect comedies ever made.
Yeah.
But you're right with De Niro, like that movie with Adam Devine or like the Bad Grandpas thing.
Doing all that kind of. Yeah, he was doing a few of those, but
That one
seems
was
to be
weird.
doing.
Or Zac Efron.
And Pacino went down the same path, But this is it's good to see him. It's old school Muse versus new school Muse with De Niro and DiCaprio. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about.
No, the film it follows the investigation, the grisly murders of the wealthy Osage people in Osage County, Oklahoma, in the 1920s, and it's shortly after it was oil was discovered on the land, and the FBI came in to investigate it.
Like August Osage County, same place.
That might be, yeah, Osage County.
There you go. The film was
Is that how you pronounce
That's it, yeah.
It was written
Osage.
by the same writer as A Star Is Born. Okay, cool.
I bet there's going to be some Native American stuff in there.
Yes.
Because what Leo loves, he's big into Native American kind of culture.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
cool.
And his production company is co-producing it. So
Yeah.
Cool. I'm down for that anytime. Like we talked about yesterday, to have DiCaprio's movies are another one. Like you want to see what he's working on next because he chooses pretty well.
Yeah,
Would you say that?
It's supposed to commence during summer 2019, which is now.
Now.
I don't know.
Producers are
They're
currently
meeting
meeting
and
with
scouting.
members of
there you go.
Osage Nation and are scouting locations for production, which is set to commence during now.
Well, we won't have 4 years in between
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio movies this time.
Still
Who,
crazy.
who would you put on your Mount Rushmore actors?
Actors?
Would you have to think about it?
Marlon Brando, Daniel Day-Lewis, then
Jack Nicholson.
Meryl Streep.
I'd put Jack.
I mean, I'm gonna do like females and males, but if I was gonna put a Mount Rushmore, Meryl Streep is the first name you put on, the first face you put on there. Without
Meryl,
Absolutely.
If we're doing unisex, then yeah, Meryl Streep for sure.
Yeah.
On there too. John Cena.
Yeah, you got to put John Cena on there.
Yeah,
100%.
I got to see that. But those are the three.
What did you say him again?
Meryl Streep, Brando, and John Cena and Daniel Day-Lewis right now, and Winona Ryder. I'm just kidding. Okay.
She stole the whole mountain.
She does do a lot of that, for sure.
She's so good.
She stole the whole.
Just
mountain.
that whole Emmy speech
You
thing,
got it.
when she was doing
Did you
that.
ever see when they were doing that though? When they
put
took
the numbers?
Was it the piece
Yeah.
of pizza?
Oh, the
And
pizza,
she kept,
yeah.
like, following the pizza around.
That was great.
That was good. All right, is that everything in the world of movies?
Yeah, that's
right,
all
let's-
the big
so
Did
stuff.
we ever find out why she was doing that? Was she drunk? But
Who knows anymore,
stoned?
dude? Does anyone ask? It's just now that you just have
Somebody
this video. Why?
Because what
it gonna
was
do?
going on?
Right, unless she was like twitching or she stole something else at the end.
I mean,
Stole the Emmy.
her season 1 performance in Stranger Things is the best comedy that you've ever seen, and you
Come
didn't know
on.
it. It is
Really?
hysterical.
Get out
She
of
got better in
here.
2 and 3.
2 and 3, yeah,
You're
for
being
sure.
a little bitch.
I am.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Sure, if that's
Sassy Roxy.
I don't know if
Shots
that's
fired.
the correct analogy of the or analysis of that situation, but yeah, I don't know if that's like the correct adjective I would use. Why would I be a little bitch in that
pretty accurate.
situation?
Because I disagree.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Good story.
Cool.
All right, moving
You know
on.
what she's great in? Mr. Deeds. Anyway, keep going.
Mr. Deeds? Who's in Mr. Deeds?
Winona
Adam
Ryder.
Sandler.
Is she in Mr. Deeds?
Yeah, she's the
I don't
love
remember. I've
interest.
seen that movie once, a long time
I
ago.
haven't
And
seen it
Peter
for a while
Gallagher.
either.
Right?
Peter Gallagher. Yeah. John
Yeah.
Turturro.
Frank
That's right.
Gallagher.
John McEnroe.
Mr. Deeds. I did not like
I
that
love
movie.
that movie.
I haven't seen it in a
man.
long time, so I don't know. When did that come out, that fucking movie?
2002.
Yeah, there you go.
Shimoda.
Wow.
There you go. Okay.
Steve Buscemi is crazy.
So,
eyes.
a movie that does come out, not in 2002, but this weekend, is Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs and Shaw. It is the spin-off to Fast and Furious, and Hobbs, played by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and then Shaw, who is Jason Statham. Jason Statham appeared in one of the post-credit scenes of Fast and the Furious as the villain, and then it turned out he was kind of like an anti-hero, and now him and Hobbs and Shaw have to work together to fight Idris Elba, who is this big bad now, who he's almost like the Terminator. But this movie, first of all, for everybody to know, it is a big fun cartoon. That is, you have to go into this and I know Fast and Furious has been getting away from this in the first place. Like you have to know that. Not getting away from it, leaning into it. That this movie, you can never look. Oh, that's not realistic. If you do that, you're out. You're out. This movie it's like a superhero. It's a sci-fi movie, by the way. This is a science fiction movie, which is crazy. It's a full-on sci-fi film with a kind of superhero element to it.
Go on.
And it mixes it with Lethal Weapon, and it is a throwback. It is a throwback to like '90s action films. The Rock and Jason Statham have incredible chemistry. And I don't mind it, but they beat you over the head with that. These guys just don't get along, right? And I was so like every single reference that they said, like they'd go back and forth because there's one moment like an interrogation thing where they're both insulting each other. It's hysterical.
Yeah, I agree. I love this kind of movie because I know exactly what it's going to be, and then it just does that,
Yeah.
and it was so fun, and
Yeah, it doesn't try to pretend to be anything except what it
else,
is. Yeah.
and it painted itself exactly how it played out, and it was funny and some great action sequences and ridiculous. Vanessa Kirby, I think, is a great addition. I love her.
Vanessa Kirby.
You know what? You're not allowed to talk about Vanessa Kirby until you start to like The Crown.
I don't like The Crown.
So Vanessa Kirby plays Statham's sister.
And I don't like Claire Foy very much.
Oh, well, Vanessa Kirby.
I like her fine in The Crown. I don't like her in First Man. Vanessa Kirby, I do like.
Right, Vanessa Kirby, who plays Statham's sister. And Vanessa Kirby was first time I noticed her was not The Crown.
It's by Claire Foy.
Was Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And she's
a star.
She is a superstar, and she, to me, has the same type of performance in this movie that Rebecca Ferguson had in that Mission Impossible movie, to where she's a standout. Because when you have The Rock and Statham, who are the big stars, and they're going back and forth with each other, it's like you got to fight to keep up with those
she
two,
can
right?
more than hang.
More than hang, and she's an action star. She really is.
What did you think about? Because I'll paint it this way. For me, watching this, I thought about all the thing that Idris Elba's name has almost been attached to, and how badly I want him to be a Batman or a Bond or something in that realm. How did you feel about him in a cat?
Yeah, sorry, he's in Cats.
Okay.
Next time we'll do the review by ourselves.
Is this how you feel all the time?
All the time.
Okay, great.
Sorry about
So you get it
I'm
now?
with you. Yeah, I feel it. It's a little frustrating, but I'm still on their team.
Good. I'm glad. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Get back on point. It's not easy, right? See?
So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like he should be going for movies like that based on this performance?
Yes, because you know what I think he did excellent in this role was that he embraced that tone. It was this. He was. You still take him very seriously because he's the villain, but he's still having a lot of fun playing this just outrageous villain. When you look at the trailer, like, what does he have, superpowers now? Because that's what I was worried about. But they explain it why it's like a Terminator type thing. To what
It's like Doc Ock, right?
Something like that.
Winter Soldier.
It's
a lot of people
more
made
like
that.
what could be in 20 years from now, in 40 years from
right.
now.
And that was the crazy thing,
Yeah.
though, too, because when you look at movies in like the 70s and 80s when they had this crazy stuff happening in the future, you're like, well, that kind of technology is nowhere near. The scary shit about a lot of this stuff, even though as far-fetched as it is, you're like, with the way that science
Siri
works
and Alexa.
yeah, like
sorry to just make your phones freak out.
But all of that stuff, and I was like, man, I liked that premise that this is what they were fighting against, because Hobbs is this powerful dude, but he can't hang with this guy because of the machine power. And Shaw, who's also, he's not necessarily brute strength, but he's using
smart.
He has problems because the relationship that between with his sister and everything else too. It's great.
Something I loved about this as well was learning more about Hobbs and Shaw and their history, their separate histories, and I thought that honestly, in movies like this, usually I don't need that kind of background, but for this, it made me care more about their characters, and I thought they did a great job balancing that.
Can you compare this to Fast and the Furious movies?
No, that's kind of what I liked about it. I kind of there's references to a few. There's a lot of fun cameos in this movie.
Really fun ones that I had no idea about.
Good trailer work then.
Great trailer work because no, there hasn't been any spoilers for it yet, and when it hits you hard. Some of these cameos,
awesome.
and it works really well.
One of them legitimately startled me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. but it wasn't just both cameos, not cameos that are just thrown in there because.
Yeah.
It fits the plot. Both of them fit the plot, and it works, and it's.
Were you surprised they were able to get any of the people they got?
No.
How cool is it when they go to Hawaii for like the Maori?
I don't think it's Hawaii though. Oh yeah, they do shoot in Hawaii, I guess, because it's Samoa.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's awesome. And Roman Reigns is in it.
But how? I will say,
his
I
hair wet
believe
the whole
that
time?
Roman Reigns was incredibly underutilized.
He was, but it was
fine.
I think that it was Dwayne Johnson kind of throwing him a bone to where it's his cousin, and
I do too.
putting him-
It was interesting to me because if you have Roman Reigns in that.
might not be an actor. This might be wrestling and.
I'm wondering if things got cut.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I think his role wasn't set up to be anything except what he did, and the
He's
way
just
that they
doing a ton of press.
yes, but because he's Roman Reigns, and the stuff that they shot with him, it was a clear nod to the wrestling fans. There were things that happened inside of it that I went, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to cheer.
Is Roman Reigns the guy that John Oliver made fun of because he gets like heckled everywhere he goes?
He was, but he's not anymore, and part of it is because
Yes.
yes,
That's the person you're thinking of.
yes, but he was diagnosed with cancer, beat it, came back. Fans have been on his side since.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's
I think slipped out of remission, then back into it.
That's
again.
exactly what happened. Yeah. But he's now he's back with the company.
And he's actually The Rock's cousin in real life.
Yeah, and so the Usos.
Yeah, and he looked in place here. He
did.
was a beast.
Yeah, it's funny because he does a couple things. There's things that I was watching. I was like, and there were a few wrestling fans in the audience, and that there are people who were sitting next to me who were not. That there were references that happened that went right over people's heads that he did, and I went, oh, that's cool that they did that. So
Interesting.
it was that's how they shine a light on him pretty big for the wrestling audience.
Was
When
there
they
like a lot
got-
of car stuff in it? No.
Enough.
Yeah, enough.
Enough to be a Fast and
Franchise?
Furious
Yeah.
franchise film,
Yeah.
but not enough to call it Fast and Furious.
Was there
Exactly.
any
You
one
know?
point in it? I mean, I know you're saying it's a cartoon, but was there any one point when you were just like, come on?
No,
Okay,
because
No.
it's set up.
No, and if you're gonna feel that way, this isn't the movie
Right,
for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
because it sets it up from the beginning. From
Yeah.
the second the movie starts, like, oh, because the one thing is if you set up a movie to where you're supposed to think everything's realistic, and then a scene like that happens, so I'm gonna give you a spoiler on the Long Shot, the movie Long Shot that just came out. Okay, so if you haven't seen Charlize and Seth Rogen, if you haven't seen the movie, then you should at least pause this part of it. So the beginning of that movie starts with Seth Rogen as he's undercover and he's
KKK, right? Or
Nazis.
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 And so the tone of it is, okay, he's this reporter that takes seriously, there's some comedy involved, and then he jumps out of a window that clearly should kill him. And I'm like, oh, that's this kind of movie? That's weird.
But then it's not that
And then it's
kind of
not
movie.
for the rest of the movie. And I like the movie, but the rest of the movie is not like that. Then there's another scene where Charlize Theron throws somebody over her shoulders, and starts running down the hallway as slow motion bullets are coming in. I'm like,
They took creative liberties in there that didn't work for you.
there was a couple. When this movie starts, it never changes.
Awesome.
It's out of control
Yeah, the whole
from
time.
A to B.
I'm so excited.
I also we met a new character in Samoa that I really liked.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're
I thought
talking
she
about.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby's sister.
No.
Yes.
But overall,
was
this
really
movie's
fun.
a lot of fun. If you're first of all, if you're a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, it sticks to a lot of the over the top fun that you've grown accustomed to. If you're a Dwayne Johnson fan, he shines. He does a lot of rockisms, things that I've been waiting for him to do in movies since a lot of stuff that I was waiting for him to do since he debuted on the scene, stuff that he took from the WWE. Just the way he even insults back and forth with Shaw is reminiscent to me of how he used to be as a wrestler when he would go back and forth with Stone Cold and things that he would say in the ring. He brought that, and I hadn't seen him do that yet. And then between what him and Statham are doing together, it's amazing.
Yeah, I completely agree. My one thing would be, Josh, nothing happened that was crazy. I didn't believe that it would fit in this world, but I think they could have cut about 10 minutes from the movie. Yeah. There were some sequences that just were very lengthy. It wasn't like, what, this is out of place. It was just like, okay, I get what we're doing. Let's get to the next one.
That's how I feel about musicals.
You thought the whole movie, though.
Right.
You just don't want. You think the whole
Like,
movie.
I'm like, okay, I get the song, I'm done.
Right.
Problem.
Okay.
Also, somebody's cracking somebody up out there.
I know. It's just
I can
serious
hear
laugh.
Cody really getting some giggles in there. Cody?
Happy birthday, Cody.
Yeah, what's going
Not
on?
me.
What happened?
I don't know. Someone's laughing out in the lobby right now.
Roca?
Got it.
What, Alex?
I
We don't
would-
have fun.
I would watch this movie all the time.
So when
I
it
would
comes
have
out
it
on like
play-
HBO Cinemax, whatever, I'm going to be freaking out.
I would
for it,
literally
like,
watch
all the
it
time.
all of it.
It's
There's
just
no
fun.
time that I'd be like, I'm not in the mood to watch. It could play in the
Yes.
background all of the
No,
time.
you can tell they had a blast making the movie.
Yes,
And it was.
But I'm so surprised because remember I did one Jason Statham junket once.
Yeah.
A little too serious for you.
He's very serious, self-proclaimed.
Ask your fucking questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very serious.
Yeah.
So
they play that in the personality.
But it's interesting because you can tell that him and The Rock are playing, and
Yeah.
The Rock is so fun. So,
but that's a press thing. I don't
Okay.
think Statham's a big fan of the press. I don't think he likes
Okay.
to. I think that when he's working with people like The Rock, he's going to be, he's one of the boys.
I don't know him at all. I'm just saying.
I think he's one of the my buddy Naveed, who is friends with Statham, and he's one of the boys, that type of thing, and I think that he just likes to do the work, and I think that it's funny they play off their real personalities in this movie, I think too, because the opening of the movie, I love the way that it was shot. I love the way it was shot. Like, the very opening of it, it's very creative and different.
Me too, because it just
it sets it up. It sets it up perfectly.
I'm so excited.
Great.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
And a strong directorial choice.
Yeah, there were some times. I think the director did a great job.
A lot of close-ups.
There were a lot of close-ups, not so much. A lot of it felt like a music video at times.
Which it fits for this kind of movie.
For this thing. I think that when I was walking out with somebody there was 3 people, and I heard we just got into a conversation about it, and they were talking about, because the same director, I think he did John Wick, right? And it's just so different from the style for what John Wick was doing, and it's a little just too over the top for me. And I was like, but that's what they were going for in this movie.
That's why he was hired.
That's why he was hired. He wasn't hired to do John Wick, because that's not what this tone was. Stuber had a bit of John Wick more so than this did, right? But this is.
I liked that too.
I liked Stuber, but this movie was supposed to be like a 90s blockbuster, over-the-top action movie.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I feel like there is a 0% possibility that Josh does not love this.
He'll love it.
Literally, I would say 0% possibility.
Yeah, you'll love it.
I'm so excited.
It's everything you want it to be. It's over-the-top, ridiculous, great chemistry, fun jokes. Asinine, fun sci-fi plots, and
slightly raunchy at times.
Yeah.
You guys are describing everything I like.
And some really good comedy.
Yeah.
Some really good comedy. There's a scene at the diner that I'll say is really funny.
The plane, for me.
Yeah.
I loved.
This is my return of the king.
You're gonna love this. Anyway, so you guys, I'm very curious were you excited about this movie? Do you want to see this movie? Do you care about this movie? And if you're ready, and after you come back, after you've seen it, come back to this review, because we're gonna piece this out on the channel. So make sure that you comment, do everything that you would do when watching a video, and click it comment,
subscribe,
all of it, and
say really nice things about us.
Say some nice things, and we will. We're gonna go to break, Cody. I know it's a little bit 5 minutes, but we're gonna go to break, and when we get back, talking about director of the Peanut Butter Falcon, we have Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz here talking about that film after the break.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of 2. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of 2 is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast, because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the witching hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here, Collider Live. Roxy Striar trying to hold in sneezes, but we are... That's right. We are joined by directors and writers Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz. And so this is a cool story because Roxy Striar, who... sitting across from me over here
that
was
is me.
Lovely Roxy.
The lovely Roxy. She raves about very few movies the way she was raving about this film.
Yeah.
She was raving about it. And then she said she did a live stream. And
Yeah,
she
just on
talked
my
about it.
YouTube.
Yes.
I feel yes, this is a good story. Part of me is like, as a storyteller, I'm like, I want to jump in on this storytelling train here.
Please do.
Well, okay. Then, sorry.
Yes, yeah, please.
This
is Tyler, by the way.
Hey everybody! I don't know if the video and the hello,
yes.
I'm Tyler. This is Michael, and we made a movie.
It's a new podcast.
Yeah.
So I just learned Twitter. Like I've left Twitter off the like.
You poor bastard. Twitter is the curse of us all.
We've become movie promoting tornadoes this week.
Yeah,
Yes.
this week I was like, I'm gonna go online and start liking things that people say that are, there's a little heart button. Oh, I'll click that. This is great. And a couple nights ago, I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Look at this. There's an ad button. Thank you, by the way. There's an ad button. Look at this. This is amazing. And you can check when people actually added you. And then I was like, Roxy Striar is doing a review of the movie. This is wonderful. And I clicked on it, and I was like, all right. And I didn't realize it was a live thing. It was like fresh and new to me. And I was like, this woman is going to do a review of our movie. And I just sat there and I waited for like 20 minutes.
So I was doing like we do here, where for 15 minutes I was going to, whatever.
Well, and it was like 30 minutes
Make
into the
me look
thing.
better than that.
Oh, hold
Jeez.
on one second.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay,
Well, I mean, we're
okay.
talking about you. It's no bad, and it was great. And she was like, you guys, I have these bunions on my feet. They're so itchy. And I was
That's true,
like,
I did say that.
Makes sense.
all right, when are we going to get to this movie thing here? When is the movie thing going to happen? And then I just was like, hey, I just want to know what you thought of the movie. Because there were comments going, and people were like, show me your feet. Also, like...
It's a Tarantino in it?
Yeah.
This is all too
You're
true.
seeing both sides of Twitter at this point. You're seeing the
Yeah.
creepy feet people and the nice people.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was just like, well, Tyler, I already talked about the movie if you listen to the first part of the stream.
Hold on one second. Let me take over the story.
Yes.
She said, well, Tyler... I already talked about the movie if you looked at the first part of the stream. So I was like, oh, this is great. I'll go back. And I went back, and it was like, Roxy was very sweet. And she was like, I love this movie, top 5. And she talked about it for like maybe a minute. And I was like, that's not enough for me. So I went back to the live, and I was like, hey, look, writer-director here, you got to tell me more, man. You got to, like, what did you think of the scenes? And we how worked on
this for 5
years.
years. We need more than a minute.
5 years of my life. I'm a freaking Collider fan. Like I'm a movie buff. I nerd on all you guys. Like, and I was like, what's up? And I wrote like, hey, like basically wrote another question. And she was like, and she read it, and she was like, yeah, it was really good. Anyway, so my feet are so itchy right now.
I've had a really bad feet itchy problem.
And she was like,
This is my show every day.
yes. And it was really funny because she was like, yeah, the movie was great, but I'm just trying to get to 4,000 hours because I'm trying to get my views up here.
I gotta get my super chat.
And I just
right
was
on.
like, and I legit was just like, hey man, I don't care. Like I worked for 5 years and your hours over here doesn't matter to me. I'd like, come on, give me something. And then who was Brandy?
Brandy, yeah.
Brandy. So this girl was
Ely.
like, hey Roxy, and I'm gonna make some of this story up and forgive me, but she was like, hey you big idiot. The writer director's in the room waiting for you to talk about the film, and she was like, it was so sweet. Roxy was like this. She was like, my feet are so itchy, and she was like, is Tyler Nilson here? And I was like,
I freaked
out.
out.
I was like, yeah, hey, what's up? I just want to know what you think of the movie. And then she didn't talk about the movie. She talked about how cool it was I was there, which I'm still
No,
sort
I
of like.
did.
So
But
I'm sort
for
of
a
like,
minute.
Let us have it. Now we're
So
here.
now we're here.
I got everybody to watch it. Okay.
Let me tell
That
you, I'll
was
start
really
with this
sweet.
as we throw it to her. She, like I said, when Roxy really loves something, she loves it, and she'll tell you about it. She'll scream from the mountains. And this movie, she's been screaming from the mountains for. So when she said, remember that movie that I told you about, the Peanut Butter Falcon? Well, the director was in the live chat. We got to have him on the show. We got to talk about it. And
Oh, I love that.
so
I want to be in a relationship with something like that. Who's like, I love this person. I'm on the rooftop, and I don't
Yeah.
care. Let's get matching tattoos.
But
I'm in.
The
That's
thing
her.
is, though, I've lost a lot of credibility with fans because I have very strong opinions on movies that I think are amazing that other people don't. So I needed to get the other guys on board so that the audience knew that this was, and everybody was on
Oh, I
board.
jumped on that raft in the middle of the water.
That's okay. I love it.
My thing that I have,
Totally.
the movie, I hadn't get because we got the link late last night. And I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
It's okay.
But I want to because I was a writer for wrestling. I
Yes.
wrote
You've
for
got the
wrestling.
belts out there.
We do.
Yeah.
We have belts. So this was something to me that I was when I read the premise, heard who was in it.
You
and
know
that-
Mick Foley and Jake the Snake are in it.
That's
And-
what I saw.
And
I
I'll
saw.
also tell you, Jake the Snake plays a huge part.
Jake
and
the
is
Snake
arguably
is amazing.
And he holds scenes like against like Oscar award nominated actor.
Well, you know what it
Oscar
is?
nominated actors.
What it is with Jake, and for those people who aren't aware, maybe you don't know with Jake the Snake Roberts, he was one of the best. Even when he
Dude,
came in there,
if there's one wrestler that
You
I
know
know,
him. Okay,
it's
well,
Jake the
Jake
Snake.
Because you
Snake.
watched the doc?
yeah,
Hulk Hogan and
No,
Jake.
because
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
knew he had snakes.
He had snakes,
Ring.
but besides
Yeah,
that,
you
though,
take the snake.
it was the way that he was a performer. It was the way that he was able to transform both the wrestling and the performance of it, whether he was heel or face.
yeah.
You just bought it.
Oh,
and
dude.
he had a lot of problems that he had went through, with addiction. DDP,
Diamond Dallas Page,
helped him out.
Holler
Was
at
he,
your boy.
was he on this? Was he on set at all? DDP?
DDP?
for
No,
this? No,
he
because
wasn't there.
He was too busy doing his
Jake's
yoga.
clean now.
Jake is clean. I mean, we have some great photos in, by the way. I was looking. He's so wonderful. He showed up, and it was one of those things. I don't know, Mike. Do you want to tell about?
Yeah, I mean, we sent him the script, and then we were like, well, we can't just cast you. Like, can we get a read? And he goes, I know what you want.
Yeah, I know what you want. I'll just do what you want.
We were like, okay, totally.
Yeah, you're cast.
Is that right? So you did not audition?
No,
him?
Hell no, it's Jake the Snake. You don't audition Jake the Snake.
he did send a tape, and we were just like, okay, it works.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one thing he does amazing in this, and it's so small, is, and they do it in Bloodline because we did it. They smoke the cigarette in that like sweaty cigarette way, where
Yeah.
it just keeps burning down, but it sits on your lip.
Yeah.
And it's just such an awesome little piece of a character thing that I'm just like, I get that, I buy that, I see that choice.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, man. Jake made some good decisions, and it's I think expectedly like when I normally see wrestlers in something, I'm like, oh, like it's gonna be like a goofy, like stupid, like winking at camera thing, and
Right.
Mick and Jake we didn't do that, and it's so real and authentic, and it is cool because afterwards people are like, who is that one guy? And I'm like, oh, that's Jake the Snake. And wrestling fans are like, I had no idea it was him. Like they feel like true in the South characters.
Well, let's talk about how you guys decided that first of all, how you're going to make this particular movie, why you made this movie, and then the cast that you got.
Oh yeah,
out of control. How you got this?
It's crazy.
This cast. Yeah, man. So tell me about the beginning of
5 years.
Oh no, it's a great story. I'm really grateful to be able to talk about it on with you guys too.
Yeah,
Let's start with Itchy Feet.
We'd never made a movie before, so we'd made some commercials and short films.
No agents, no managers. I don't have famous friends like you guys. If you were my friends now, you would have been my most famous friends.
That's even more crazy. The fact that you're able to get 5 years. But still, how did we
living in LA or where
we
were you?
We were in LA in Venice, and we were volunteering at a camp for people like with and without disabilities, and we basically became best friends with Zack. We were doing short films with these groups of guys. You know, some of them had Williams syndrome, and some of them were autistic.
And Zack is the guy with Down syndrome in the movie.
Right. Yeah, the lead. Sorry, you take it.
No,
I'm just talking about.
No, I'll just pop in when I'm like, hey, just clarify that.
By the way, you guys are the embodiment of both sides of Venice right now. I see you guys. You are Venice, California right now.
Part of me is like, that's sweet. I'm also like, no, that's not nice. What do you think?
No. I love Venice. Are you kidding me?
But you guys Venice has changed. Venice has changed. Anyway, so we were this is like 10 years ago. We were volunteering at this camp in Venice, and it was like for people with disabilities, and we were all hanging out. And they were doing these short films, and Zack would come on set for these like short films that we were shooting with like buddies. It was like no budget, anything. And he was like, okay, so I'm gonna come and I'm taking my glasses off and I'm gonna say this line, but when I say it, like I'm gonna like do this one thing. And I was like, this guy's a dope actor. Like, you know, like I'd taken acting classes, and you see people that are like,
he's got something.
Yeah, he had the joie de vivre. I don't know if I can use cuss words on this thing.
You can.
It's funny also we were asked not to use cuss words anymore because our roadside was like, don't cuss anymore.
No, wrong show to be on there.
Yeah. So he had this fucking thing. He gave a performance, man. And it was one of those things where it was like so fun to watch him. And we were talking with him one night, and he was like, all I want in life is to be a movie star, man. I want to be in movies. And he had studied.
Yeah, he'd been studying since he was 3 years old. He went to performing arts high school, like a mainstream performing arts high school. He teaches acting
at the JCC, the Jewish Community Center.
I know it well.
The dude is in Florida, like he's an usher in a movie theater, like being like, all right, I'm getting close to. He's doing everything he can, and he's like, hey, like so, like how do I do this like movie star thing? And Mike and I were like, oh God, like
it's really hard. Yeah, really hard for anybody. And then you take a guy that doesn't have roles written for him. Like there's not a lot of roles written for people with Down syndrome.
So we were just like, statistically speaking, Zack, I think, let me just start with, you're a fantastic actor and you're a great performer. And I think you got the thing. Statistics show that the chance of you starring in a feature film are really low. And I love you, and I say this out of love, but I don't know how that happens. Right. And we had made a short film that my mom loves and was on YouTube. You know, it was played some festivals called the Moped Diaries, and you know, it was like a sweet little short film. And Mike, we were doing commercials, and Zack was just like, okay, well then let's just do it together.
He was like, this is simple. We'll just do it together.
Okay, so you have
here's the answer.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
You guys will make it and write it, and we'll do it together. And Mike and I, it was like one of those moments where I was just like, let's do it.
I love that.
So we went to the library in downtown LA, got a bunch of books.
You were the guys there?
Yeah,
we were there.
We were there.
We got a bunch of books. We checked them out, and we like basically sat down because we had been telling, you know, storytelling is like there's a rhythm to it. So on a long, like a podcast like this, longer form, you have room to talk and tell details. If we were doing a 3-minute piece, you'd be telling me to shut the fuck up. We have the film's out August. You know, like there's like storytelling rhythms, and we hadn't really told a story over 10 minutes, and it is a drastic difference to tell a story in 10 minutes versus 90 or 100 minutes.
Sure.
So we were like, we have to figure out
script writing books.
We have to figure out how to tell a story.
Action,
yeah, legit. Like, how do you tell a story for that long, and how do you engage an audience, and how do you keep people engaged, and how do you, you know, it's a craft, it's an art, it's a beautiful endeavor, and one that I love. And so we sat down and spent a year, and we ground with him. We like went on road trips, and he would say shit to me. He'd be like, hey, like, you know, he'd get lost, and he'd be like, hey man, like, just so you know, like I got lost. I was out partying with these dudes, and I'd be like, dude, you can't. I wanted to know where you were.
He inspired a lot of the script. Like a lot of the characters based on him. He really loves wrestling.
Yeah.
A lot of the dialogue are things that we've been like,
so
Tyler, write that down. He said that.
So he'd be like that night. He was like, oh, I have Down syndrome. I don't know if you knew this, but I have Down syndrome, so I like to party with people. And it was one of those moments where I was like, Zach, you've been one of my best friends for 3 years. Like, I know that you have Down syndrome. And he's like, oh, I just didn't know if you knew, like, and like shit like that. They like, in the movie, which, but like in the movie when he says like, I just want you to know I have Down syndrome. And Tyler's like, the other character was like, I don't give a shit if you have Down syndrome. I want to know if you have camping supplies. It's so on the note. But we just try to tailor this narrative to him and craft. Hollywood's not giving him a dance floor to dance on.
Right.
Okay. Great. We're not Hollywood. We're the guys.
We'll do it. We'll do it really small.
Let's build a dance floor.
Yeah.
We don't have enough. We never dreamed we'd get to this cast size, which we'll get to your question.
Right.
But so let's build a dance floor. We'll build it 5 feet by 5 feet, and that's where Zach can dance, and we'll record. Sort of like that.
The craziest
approach.
thing, I feel like I'm talking to Gary Oldman. You look just like Gary Oldman. Do you get that all the time? It's like Gary Oldman meets Sam Rockwell.
Can you give me a younger Gary Oldman? Because I feel like I got some sun damage and stuff.
It's like professional. It's like the professional
Okay.
Leon.
Right.
But he's one of my favorite actors of all time. So I feel like I'm sitting there talking. But anyway, going back to your story.
That makes me feel good. All of a sudden, I'm like, I gotta start
with the dose of Sam Rockwell.
With a dose of Sam Rockwell.
And a little bit of Ben Begley.
Well,
with like the cadence, but he's on Popcorn Talk. He's a podcast friend of ours.
Right.
I was looking for a McConaughey Gosling thing. No, are you kidding me? Rockwell's
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So, and thank you, by the way, Michael.
I think you look like McConaughey all the time.
You're so sweet to me. That's why we're partners.
Right.
So we wrote this script, and I was really proud of it. And we worked on it for a year, and it was toilet paper. You could hand it to people like, we have 104 pages of magic, and people are like, great. Who are your agents? Who are your managers? Who do you know that's famous? And we were like, nobody.
Right.
It's a lot to ask. 90 minutes for a read of a script.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot. And so we went and shot a proof of concept. We were like, okay, how do we get people to? You can ask somebody to watch 3 minutes of something or 5 minutes or something. It's a lot easier to digest that than to engage with reading a script.
Right.
So we went and shot a proof of concept in my hometown, and we were planning on making the movie for like.
Where's your hometown?
Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Okay.
What was the proof of concept? Was it a scene that's in the movie?
It was
a bunch of scenes in the movie.
It was an amalgam, a patchwork quilt of like.
Almost a trailer. It was like a 5-minute trailer.
It
with
was.
Like one of the cornfield scenes and some of the raft scenes. Like we built the raft out of trash in 2 hours and sailed it around. It's like some of those shots are still in the movie.
Yeah.
Wow. With Zach, but not with the other cast.
With me, the wides of like that. Shia wears my hat, my favorite old hat.
Oh, that's cool.
Those are my favorite jean shorts.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say you're dressed like Shia LaBeouf right now in the movie.
Well, he also dressed like me, and so this is I had this outfit for a long time. I don't want to have to abandon it now that it's in a film. But
those shots, I'm like Tyler's in the movie, and
Right.
it's
the
wide
wide,
enough.
so-
It just looks
yeah.
like a child.
So you went back, you shot this proof, then you're able to show that's easier to show people.
Yes. So thank you for keeping us on track.
yeah.
By the way, you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Because I'll just down the whole.
I want to make sure. I want people to hear the story.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
My
show.
feet are itchy. And then you're like, dude, shut your mouth and get back
What
to
did you
the
think of
story.
your movie?
So we shot this proof of concept, this essentially a 5-minute trailer, and came back and like we went all out. We were like,
We had this chalkboard wall, and we were like, these are people that we'd like to work with or can help us.
yeah. And also we were living in a tent. We were homeless. Like I was like living in a tent with Mike in the hills, like near Griffith Park.
Wow.
Like we were
not far from here.
Just all in on this, knowing that this was
100%.
going to be the one.
There was no plan B.
No,
Yeah.
just praying.
So
Right.
And
But
also,
you got to know. But you got to know in your heart of hearts, though, if you're going to be willing to
dude.
live in a tent, and then you're like, it's
And I had
all
a
passion.
baby. We had a baby.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, we were lunatics. Like even my baby mama was like, dude, I'm going back to Texas. You're crazy. And I was like, fair. But I'm staying in the tent. I'm getting this. I made Mike a promise. We made Zach a promise that we were going to see this through. Like you don't quit before the miracle. Like you have patience. You wait.
So when does the miracle happen? How does it happen?
December 30th. The beginning. December 31st, 2016.
An actor put up on Instagram, I want to help people this year.
Okay.
That's my.
And we slid up in the DM and said, cool, we need some of that help.
If you're just giving away help this
Who
year.
was the actor?
Who was it? I think we could talk about it.
I don't know.
I feel like it's a safe
It's kind of
we
private.
We're not getting an exclusive on this one.
Come on.
Come on, we get.
I wouldn't say it.
Well, then Mike won't say it.
Yeah.
Well, you say it.
Yeah, come on, Gary.
But this actor basically
But
said,
it's not an actor in the movie?
No.
No, okay.
Well,
All right.
So how did they help?
So they said
Josh
yeah.
Brolin. I don't care. He's sweet. Like, I love him. I have so much gratitude for
You
Josh
gotta look
Brolin.
like Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't care. I have so much gratitude for Josh Brolin. If Josh Brolin can get any good juju from what he did for us, like, this movie kind of exists because of Josh Brolin.
Why wouldn't you want to give
I think
him
he wanted to.
props for
He
that?
probably wanted to stay anonymous, kind of similar to what.
He never said he wanted to stay anonymous.
Oh, he didn't?
I
Okay.
think, yeah.
He never want to say anonymous, but it's like I'm so grateful for the people that we did get in it that I
Yeah.
like tried
Right.
to shine light on
I
the
see what
people
you're
that
saying.
ended
I
up
see what
making
you're
the
saying.
movie.
Okay, so Josh Brolin says I want to help people.
Let's
you
go back to an
slide in
actor,
the
'cause-
DMs.
yeah, no.
My feet are still itchy. Continue.
So we were like, hey man, like truthfully, like if you're looking to help, like we need a name to help. We don't know what we need. We just need help. And he responded back like really quick. And Mike was really smart. And Mike opened the Instagram account and like he was like, that's not what I meant by I'm gonna be helping people, but I'll help you. And it was like one of those moments where like we have a Go film with Josh Brolin.
We started calling everybody in Hollywood and we're like, we're making a movie with Josh Brolin.
Yeah, you know, like we like emailing like agent@wme.org AU, you know, like just being like, we have a Go film with Josh Brolin, like, and there were other things that happened, you know, like there were like we had gotten the proof of concept to these producers, Albert and Ron, and
they made Nebraska Little Miss Sunshine.
shit.
Like,
Yeah,
they're the best.
And so
Great
it was
movie.
it was all these like elements of like it all kind of happened at once, and you know, like as a team, it all kind of happened for us at once, but it still didn't happen because like there's so many things that could go wrong.
But it opened up doors.
Oh my God, totally.
And Albert and Ron had done a movie. They did Nebraska with Bruce Dern.
Yes.
So they called him up. They did a movie with John Hawkes. They'd done a movie with Shia.
John Hawkes is one of the coolest dudes. He used to come to the bar where I worked way back when.
Yeah.
So I gotta
guy.
tell you though, like this story is phenomenal. It's fantastic, but the putting the Josh Brolin part on this, it starts the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like because it, like that Josh Brolin making that connection to introduce you to the producers, and now it all makes sense. Shia and John, and like, this is
and
awesome.
We could have kept it an actor, but like I Josh Brolin, like realistically, like it might have changed my entire life. You know, like so, like I went from living in a tent in the woods and with no internet service, like going down to coffee shops and drinking heavy cream to get enough calories. Like I was eating, like it was like I was eating a piece
The
of
cream
chicken.
is free. They charge for the coffee.
It is. The cream is free. There's a lot of calories in there. Like, you know, like, so I went from I was eating one piece of chicken and a half a potato and a spoonful of butter every day to like on set. Like we were like that, like to on set.
So then when did they tell you like look, we're gonna make this movie? Like when does that conversation?
Shia got the proof of concept. He was getting ready to go into a cabin in Finland with no internet service, no contact with the outside world for 6 weeks.
Just to do that's
like
what he
art
does?
stuff,
Oh,
like
okay,
the art stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Cool, I watched this thing. I've read some of the script, and I want to do this with you."
He's basically he's like, I don't have enough time. I can't read it right now. I don't care. I'm doing it. I saw the proof of concept. That's a movie
I want to
make
make
with
that.
you guys. I want to make that.
And he said, so when I come out of this cabin, I'll just show up on set, and you guys got to be ready.
And we were in a tent, and we were like, "Yep, we'll see you on set."
But does that also make you nervous though? Because
let me just say yes.
Okay.
The answer's already yes.
Yeah. Just because once we know. I mean, we just talked about it before. He's a brilliant actor. He's been out there before. And
Does Shia make me nervous?
Yeah, well, Shia because the fact that he says he's just going to show up because it's like a Bill Murray type thing. You leave a message and he shows up.
Here's what I'll say. At the time, he wasn't as close a friend as he is, a dear and close friend to me as he is now. He was just FaceTime. We met him, but when I think
you believe him when he says something, he means it.
Yeah,
and you believe him.
And combined with like Mike and I are committed 110% to this project. Like that's what we're doing. And we were on the phone with Shia, and you could just see it in his eyes. He was like, "I'm at the vibration you guys are at."
Right.
So it's like I'm in 100%. And it's like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, he wasn't not going to show up.
Right.
You know, that's not who. And as I've learned, he's just not that kind of guy. He's the guy that shows up.
He says that he does it, and he did it.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you have these great producers that have made these amazing movies. You have an incredible cast coming together, and then we had to go out and find
money,
the financiers.
Right. You have to go. Hey, we need a couple $1 million to make art.
Yeah,
and
that's
another hurdle.
Right.
There were some people that were like, "Okay, cool. If you just don't use an actor with Down syndrome, we'll give you some money." We're like, "Cool, that's not what we're doing.
Right,
we're doing an actor with Down syndrome." And then we found
But the temptation of being homeless and somebody being like, "We'll give you money. You just have to go against what you truly believe in your heart and spirit." It was very high.
It's like the Rocky story with Stallone. Like they said, "Yeah, we'll give you all this money, but you can't star in it." It's like, that's not the movie I want to make. But this is you guys made this movie because of this kid.
For Zack. So we ended up, we kept taking meetings, and we found these guys at Armory that had made Mudbound and a couple other movies.
Chris Lamole.
That's my buddy.
Yeah.
That's my boy, dude.
They are a
Tim's
godsend.
Jars,
So great, and they got it. You know, it just wasn't even any question. They're like, I get this. I have a family connection to this type of story.
I have an impression of Chris Lamole at that meeting because we were going to these meetings and
he looks just like Statham too, which is crazy.
But maybe
Just
better
like Statham.
looking.
Yeah,
he is a good looking.
He's a good looking dude.
Got 5 boys. That guy's great. We had been going to these meetings and we would go to these meetings and they'd be like, great, we'll get you some coffee or whatever, and like, do you want anything else? We'd be like granola bars and almonds and like, and then we'd fill our pockets up with food to take back to the treehouse and like, we love it, but like, can you get somebody famous to play the Zack role? And we were like, no, we'll just eat the granola bars. Thank you very much. So we walked in this meeting at Armory with Chris Lamole, and we sat down. We're like, okay, here it is. Here's what it is. It's a guy with Down syndrome, and Chris was like, okay. And then we were like, and he's starring in a feature film in the South with Shia LaBeouf, and Chris was just like, just stop right there. Get my checkbook. Like he was dead. He was like, I'm in. Like
Really?
he was like, let's push the raft. Like, those guys, Armory dudes, I will say this out loud to anybody out there listening. If you can make a movie with Chris Lamole and the Armory crew, do it.
Yeah.
110%. Those guys showed up for us and stayed showing up for us over and over and
This
over.
does seem like the magic story. I know that it took obviously 5 years to get it all done, but once it happened, it starts moving from the Instagram post to getting Shia involved, to getting Lamole involved, to doing all these things. To then you start getting, once you have all those pieces, it's a little easier. You get someone like Dakota Johnson and
well, Dakota was great too. It was. I think Shia is an actor's magnet in a way. I think he's very enigmatic. I want to work with him too. But Dakota. Getting her was such a godsend too. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to take a second.
That was kind of what I wanted to know because then it starts to move because you cast these people, in your heads from writing the script what you want. Sitting on it's got to feel surreal as you're watching all the characters and the actors and these people that you know and that you admire, and you start to see it happen. Does it vibe right away and you go, no, this is moving magically like we thought, or were there a lot of bumps? And then you had to fix it.
On set, not many bumps. I think we just showed up and we're like, it was so immediate and so like right now it's happening so fast. We're just like, cool, this is just how it goes.
And 5 years is a long road. But if you spent 5 years prepping the game, then we got on set and we were like, nope, that's not right. That's perfect. Don't do that. Your hat's backwards now. You
knew exactly what you wanted from the second you got there.
How many days were you guys shooting for?
We
31 days.
We shot for 31, but we shot on water with dogs in this all exteriors in the South in the middle of summer. So like it
there was something looking out for us every day when we stopped shooting. Like within a minute, a thunderstorm would come in and just drench the set.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
so
incredible.
Okay, so then 32 days, I'm sorry. 31 days. So 31 days, you guys shoot the movie, you're feeling happy about it, you're excited about it, and then you start to the editing process and everything comes.
Well, sorry, I wanted to answer your question. You asked any bumps along the way. I think the biggest thing for me was day one, because Zack, Zack doesn't read through a script. He's the kind of actor like you want to kind of put him in the moment and you know kind of where he's going to go, but he'll hit his lines perfectly, but like in his own time and unique way. His ability is not a disability; it's just it's a different superpower sort of thing. So it was day one. I'd never seen Zack do anything besides a small short film in Venice Beach. And it was the last scene of the day we shot at once. It was Zack's first scene. And it ended up being like the watermelon helmets. And we had 45 minutes to basically get what should take 2 hours. And my heart was like thumping. And I just didn't know. You don't know if Zack's going to be like, because it all hinges on him being believable. So if he showed up and was like, lines, like the whole thing would have not worked. And realistically, a smart financier would have been like, you guys, we got to pull the plug. Like, this doesn't look good.
Right.
And I was like, action. And we just started, and Zack was improving and rolling and laughing.
Shia was feeling it. The camera crew was running around.
And it was one of those moments where, like, really we ended up getting more than we even needed for that day. And we got all these shots and things and little scenelets that are in the movie. And we were on adrenaline. And then our first AD was like, great, good, well, let's cut and we're good to go. See you guys tomorrow. And I was just like,
right.
And I literally, my legs gave out.
Yeah.
My guy laid in the grass.
I laid in the grass and started sobbing, like, because he did it. He did it, and I was like, if he can do one scene, we can maybe do them all. And like Mikey took a photo, like that, like I sobbed that day. I cried some on day 4. I sobbed on like it was like this really emotional ride of like.
Dude, I cried a lot in the movie too. I mean, there's
a lot of laughs too, but yeah.
I mean,
very funny.
Very funny movie. When he's like, "What's the first rule? Party." Like that's my favorite line in the movie, without a doubt.
So that was a Zack thing that like you got to know your actor, and like that was one of those moments where I was like, we didn't write that. Like Shia turned around, said it, and Zack was supposed to say. Something different. I don't know right now.
But he threw a curveball.
And Zack kind of, and I'll never forget watching the monitor, and I was like, take a step to your right because you're blocking Shia, and we can't use that if you're blocking because it's going to look weird. And he took a tiny little step to his right, and he goes, party?
Yeah.
And I was just like,
right.
Yeah. I started sobbing again. Day 4. There we are.
It's just like this is like you hear this story, and it's like I'm bummed that we have to.
Oh yeah,
end
sorry.
Here no, it's okay. We should have went for an hour because there's so much more I want to talk to you guys about. But what's wrong?
I'm just so happy with that because like this could have gone really bad. You guys could have been super weird. I don't know.
We are weird. Surprise! We're gonna be awkward for 2 more minutes.
I think that's the whole point. I think there are type of weird. I think that's the whole point.
I know, but they could have not been speaking.
But I want to know how these guys met. I want to know what's next. There's so much more shit that we should talk about.
How we met doesn't matter. We invented just being best friends, acknowledging and crazy in each other.
But it does matter because it matters in fact that
try to do it in 2 minutes.
I know, but that vibe alone because you can tell already. I've known from just this half an hour.
Yeah.
You and I have the same type of energy. It's
Are
like,
you guys living in your tent still or no?
We're sharing a one bedroom, man. It's dope.
Fuck yeah.
Wait 12 minutes from here.
We got a hose line. We got a hose that goes off the roof.
We got a
take
fire
a shower
pit in the
there.
backyard.
Yeah, Mike pees in a jug. Like we're still dirtballs. Nothing's changed.
What are you looking at? So this movie
And
now
what's
is getting
next?
buzzed.
Yes.
Well, it's getting buzzed, and
oh sorry.
What's next with this, and then what's next for you guys?
This is coming
This
out
is it.
limited on August 9th.
August 9th.
And then it goes a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And then if a lot of people see it, it goes nationwide on the 23rd.
Just go see it.
And I will. Sorry. Yeah.
No. I mean, I just can't talk highly enough about this movie, man. Like it moved me in a very weird, very cool way. Like this morning, I finished it this morning. I'm sobbing in bed. My wife comes home from workout. She's like, "Are you watching This Is Us rerun?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching this Peanut Butter Falcon movie. It's Chris Lamole's movie. It's absolutely incredible."
Yeah.
And then she was like, and then she started watching it. She was late for work watching it. I mean, it moved me in a very, very specific way.
What's your wife's name?
And I can't, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, it's awesome. This movie's perfect. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is that this film is coming out in theaters, and it's we're the underdogs. Like we're up against. There's Marvel films, and there's big Sony films, and there's us, and we are still like even with a big cast, we are the underdogs. Like our superheroes, Down syndrome. It's a really different thing for us. So I'm like, part of me is like, if you're out there listening, come see it in theaters. If our stories sort of touch you in a way, like it really does matter, because if this, like we're in that weird time with streaming coming and things are competing, and it's funny like hearing the way people are talking. It's like, wow, like films like this might not be in theaters if films like this don't get seen in theaters anymore.
Yeah.
So if you're out there listening, please come see it. LA, New York, Charlotte.
Oh, you got
Austin, August 9th. Yeah.
Well, go and see the movie, guys. Once again, we have Tyler Nilson and Michael Schwartz here. They are the writers and directors of the Peanut Butter Falcon. And you guys should see it. Absolutely go see it. What a great story. Thank you guys for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, come back in. So we can
Collider
finish
fans,
up. For sure.
double up.
Go and see the movie, guys, and thank you. That's the show. Listen, we're going to be in New York on August 31st at the Schmodown. Get those tickets at the schmodownlive.com, or Arizona in September, or Orlando. That's right. Orlando on October 19th, the schmodownlive.com. Request your city.
There we go.
All right, guys. And go and see the Peanut Butter Falcon in theaters. We'll see you tomorrow.